All right, all right, all right. Peace to the gods, peace to the gods. Yusef here. Got a good show lined up for you today. First of all, let me do an audio check real quick. How's my audio coming in? Check one. How's the audio? Give me an audio check in the chat. Audio check in the chat. Audio check in the chat. Loud and clear. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Nice and clean. All right, all right. I'm doing a call-in show today, y'all. Call-in show. This is your opportunity to ask me questions about a lot of things that um, I know y'all have questions about as it relates to, the direction I'm going in and my view on this information right now. So let me see real quick. All right, so who we got? All right, let's get to going. Our first caller is coming in from Florida, 352-9894. You're on the line. What's on your mind?
What's up, my man? How we doing, Seafood? How we doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, bro? What's going on?
Oh man, you know I love you, brother. I love you, brother.
I,
So, I just wanted to tell you before you got started this deep dive, before we get you off, I don't want to get you off topic because I don't want to do that to my man.
all
I just
right.
want to tell you I love you, my brother, and I appreciate everything you do. And I appreciate the what do you call it, the internal mechanism at the school because I had messed up, got to pay out, and then ended up spending too much money, and you gave it back. So I'm one of those cats that waited and did what you said, Yusuf, and I took care of business. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
love you. Take me off now.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. I appreciate that. Nice. Nice way to start off the day. Yesterday I was talking about, the jurisdiction of the courts. Um, and that's just one small thing I've been kind of examining, the court system, but I've been looking at all the information. And hey, look, I know it's an unpopular thing, what I'm saying. Trust me on this. I don't have any advantage of telling you any of you this because, hey, it's not doing anything for me, you know, definitely not, especially monetarily. It's not doing anything for me telling you this, but I feel it's my job to tell you the truth. I can't help it. That's just how I'm made. I study this stuff. I've studied this stuff every day for the last 20 years. And some, like I said, when I came in, it was about acceptance for value and discharge debt, secure party. Wasn't a lot of this other stuff. Now that y'all got a cornucopia of things, you've made up this thing called status correction. And I don't know which way it's gone. It's based off of declarations and so forth. And the people are saying you don't have jurisdiction over me. When they first started saying you don't have jurisdiction over me, it was just a very small group of people saying it, and then it just exploded. With this internet, man, this internet is something else. Because I was in this before there was any internet, before there was any. So, well, was there internet? It may have been internet. There may have been. The internet was just coming in. Was the internet was here, but it was no social media. Let me put it like that. It wasn't any social media. And there was no social media. I like that lower third. How y'all like my look? Y'all like my new look? I'm looking at my new look. I'm like, yeah, that look good. He said user was killing it on Blog Talk Radio in the coffee shop. Yeah. Those were the days. Sometimes I miss those days, man. I really understand when people say it's the journey, not the destination, because when I was on that journey, every day I woke up, it was exciting, and I was, very excited. I loved doing what I was doing with the radio. The radio was nice. Um, that was a nice time. It was a nice time. Don't get me reminiscing over Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk is now defunct. But as y'all can see, there's a call-in show. The number's on the screen. If you want to call in and talk to the host, now's your chance to do so. When they say media, civilian, intelligence agent, all rights reserved without recourse. I'm an OG at this, man. I remember. Yeah, I can see I'm outside in the pool. All right. I'm not that person. Trust. I'm not that person. Trust. It don't matter what you say. Listen, you you can't you're not going to evade liability by saying I'm not that person. That's what the whole thing with discharging debt was. Discharging debt was I'm not going to argue about it. I'm going to accept the facts of what you said, and then I'm going to, discharge the matter. That's what the whole thing originally was. It was about not arguing any facts as they appear in the case. And then y'all all went into this arguing thing. At the barber shop, I would call in when I get out when I get out of you still on, I'll call for sure. Okay. Okay. At the barber shop. Are you at the barber shop? All right. All right. Social media, civilian intel. Okay. I cannot see. I'm outside in the pole. All right. Okay. It looks nice. All right. Call in number. What y'all see the call in number? Y'all don't see it. It says when Google emailed me to partner, I told them to F off with an Echo AI sovereign interface system. When the Echo AI sovereign interface system, what is that? Crown Operations. What is an Echo AI sovereign interface system? What is that? An Echo sovereign interface system. I don't know what that is. Republic of Georgia Embassy of Peaceful Dominion. Now look, all the content creators are freaking out. What I want to know is how is that okay? So if you got this Republic of Georgia Embassy of Peaceful Dominion and all these things, what is that supposed to do? Does that give you some sort of immunity or something? I'm just kind of curious about that. I remember them folks were running the Treasury scam, had folks paying bills with the U.S. Treasury bank account, straight jail time off the rip. You told the folks don't do it. Told them don't do it. I told them don't do it. They didn't understand what the Treasury Direct account is. A big misunderstanding too. Let me go over to the phone lines. 501 area code 3090 Arkansas. You're on the line. What's on your mind?
Peace, peace to you, brother Yusef.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I was wanting to thank you first of all. I've got two things I want to say. I'm not gonna take a lot of time, but I want to thank you for explaining to us about the exchange into the trust versus the funding. I asked you about it one time on the Instagram,
Right.
and when I was doing my research for my daughter's special needs trust, it just came back. And it was saying how fund, exchange, transfer, and assign all have different mechanisms of how property moves. And then we added convey in also, but it was really significant as it was going down and showing through, whether the property is applied to the trust and if it has a financial value, like you're saying, you're transferring money or, however that the monetary value versus if you're transferring property, it wouldn't necessarily particularly have that monetary value on it in the beginning, I'm assuming, and then once it gets there, or that there's a difference in the way it goes in, and I was looking at that in terms of the tax implications as well. So I wanted to thank you for that
You're
because
welcome.
that really made a big difference in my research.
You're
And then
welcome.
the second thing was one time I made a comment about my other mentor Eon, and you thought I said Elon Musk. You thought I was talking about Elon Musk, but I wanted to clarify that because I know that you know him, and he was giving you a shout out on his show, so I wanted to mention that to you. But
Oh,
his name is Eon, but it's um, Brett Jones. Are you
yeah,
aware of
Brett.
him?
Yeah, I know Brett. Yeah. Brett Jones. Yeah, shout out to Eon. Yeah, yeah, he been in the game long as I have. Been around for a minute, a very long time. So yeah, Brett he's a researcher and a very intelligent man too. But yeah, shout out to
Did you happen
Brett.
to see the Did you happen to see the $500 billion lawsuit that he did? I know it was kind of it seemed like a joke to people, but I didn't know if you had saw it and how you felt about it because that some of the concepts that he's coming up with now are really amazing in terms of getting some immediate things going to people. So
He
I don't know if
filed a
you have
law.
time to check it
What,
out.
Brett Jones filed a lawsuit? Is that what you're saying?
And
Oh,
petition Congress also.
oh no, I didn't know anything about that. I'll check it out. I don't know any details about it, but I was totally unaware of that. But I'll check it out.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for all the work that you do.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, I did. I was not aware that he filed a lawsuit. I have to, look at it and see the details of that. Um, I guess that path to freedom didn't work. Some people they thought, only problem I had with that path to freedom stuff is when I told them about it, how people talked so bad about me. They were talking so bad. They were talking bad about me. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. You just made me want to. You just made me want to go over there and look at that and look at that again. Where is it at? That Treasury Direct, accessing the Treasury Direct account. Did I take that? I might have took it down. No, I didn't take that down. I know I didn't take it down. I know I didn't take that down. Let me see. I know I didn't take it down because there was too many people. It was a lot of people watching that video. Sovereign Citizen TDA account. What is that? Bonds. I want to put it on the screen. Dun, dun, dun. Man, what happened to it? Let me see if I can just search it real quick. Yeah, how do I activate my TDA account? Let me see if I can put this on the screen. I want to show y'all how bad they were talking about me. They were talking about me bad, boy. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so let me see what it's saying. Let me go all the way down here to the bottom. Let me see. Let me see. It was a lot of people. Is there a treasury? Where is that? They were talking about me bad. The more you speak, the more you reveal your right here. The more you speak, the more you reveal yourself as a con artist. At the beginning of your video, you said ain't doing shit for money, then tell niggas you charge $4.50 an hour. How's that a con artist? Yeah, my time costs money, bro. You ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting any of my time for free. The irony is that we live in only one country. Where is it at? It might be back way down here when they first. What is my niece? Where is it at? 'Cause there's so many people. I see people are very upset in the comments concerning his attitude, but the man is hilarious while sharing. It said it's so funny, all the clearly black commentators attacking a black man good and giving good info. He said, my guess, okay, well, look at this. I ain't see this. Guess my comment got blocked. People, careful who you listen to. If he could make money, he would be on. He wouldn't be on YouTube. What do you mean? There's plenty of people on YouTube. That's what people come on YouTube to make money for. My daughter is an attorney with her own law firm, like Coca-Cola, Budweiser, etc. My cousin is a lead attorney at the Library of Congress. I have a master in criminal justice and education with a minor in psychology. He's not educated enough to teach without reading something. In addition, I've worked at schools and was an instructor at a police department. I don't know what that meant. You think he knows what he's talking about? Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. All that you just said didn't mean nothing. I should make you feel stupid. I don't feel bad about it. You're operating in a space where there's been accountability for your own actions. You're called a sovereign, and a sovereign is responsible. Okay, yeah, we know you. Stop bitching and start teaching, please. Look at this. Everyone is not perfect. Wait, let me go. It's a lot of comments, man. Enough is enough. I'm just, everybody just, really what people are mad about, they mad about this. And said, bro, you're too damn arrogant for me to sit here and listen to you. But first off, it's not that people are lazy, that they don't believe it. Yeah, and yes, you can't buy things. 1933, they took one's gold from that day on. The government had to take care of everyone. See, it's somebody want to be taken care of. It's what they think. They think that they're supposed to be taken care of. It's some sort of, it took me a little time to understand this. Let me put myself on the screen. It took me a little time to kind of understand this space and what was going on. Because, in the beginning, they had it made you feel like, okay, they took all the gold and it's their responsibility to pay the bills. Okay, that made sense. It does make sense. But you started to see this welfare mentality creep in and this entitlement attitude from so many people to the point of them getting angry about things. And this is what I always thought in my mind. I was like, if everybody get everything for free, then how's the world going to operate? If everybody in America just don't have to pay for nothing, how is that going to operate? So there was always that specter in the background I'm thinking about too. It's like, okay, but I understood also that they had made it where if you were going to discharge something, you were going to jump through a lot of hoops and you had to demonstrate that you knew what you were talking about, which is what I was talking about with the people. And, I'm like, look, you can't be lazy and study this stuff. But I'm going to go back and read those comments. Those comments were funny as hell, man. I gotta go back and read them comments. They were talking about me so bad on that TDA video. Y'all to go over there and read the comments, see what they were saying about me. Because I was just telling them, they felt like it was clickbait. I put up a TDA, how to access your TDA account. So everybody started clicking on it. And they were mad because I wasn't talking about how to access your TDA account. But, they were talking about this girl. She had given them this webinar. And they claimed that it worked and everything. And I told them, I said, well, come back and tell me. I said, when you're 6 months, you come back to tell me at his age. I don't think anyone in these platforms really explains how to perfect the method. None talk about bond of treasury of UCC1, only show you exactly the reason and method that is real. I know this because of deep dive shows the law theory you teach to be the one that sets grounds in law. I'm not really understanding that. You may have to rephrase that. Now they have people by the balls. They depend on that Google check. It's funny, but it's not. I never chased enslavement. People do. Well, I mean, listen, let me tell you something. Any type of business, it's just business. It's not, you know what? I don't really get paid from YouTube. Man, YouTube don't take care of me at all. I don't get enough views on YouTube for it to even do anything for me. As a matter of fact, when I first started coming on YouTube, I didn't even know how to monetize my videos. And then one day, they turned on the monetization for me, and I went in my back office and I had like $8,000 in an account just waiting for me. I didn't even know anything about it, and I'd been on YouTube about 2 or 3 years or something like that because I never depend on social media. And you should not. It's good. Don't get me wrong. YouTube is good. YouTube pays a lot of people and takes care of a lot of people. And yeah, they have to work for it. And a lot of people have developed businesses around these platforms, as they should. You should be developing some sort of business too, because the world is being taken over by AI. And if you ain't caught on yet, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all really not understanding. In a couple of years, I don't even think there's going to be fast food jobs. There's not even going to be fast food jobs. You better be on some sort of time where you're trying to learn AI. That's what I need to do. I need to start teaching at SBC University how to start your online business. Would y'all come if I did that? How to start an online business? Yeah, I didn't even, they didn't ask me because I wasn't depending on it. I was doing webinars and things like that. I wasn't depending on YouTube. I never wanted to depend on YouTube because they can take your social media account. Man, they take down your account. If somebody who's making all their money from social media and their account goes down, you shouldn't structure your business where you're dependent on one social media account. I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Hey, where are those people now? I did not get some paperwork processed until I got an item removed off a credit report. I never did A for V for no nothing. I did not understand. Okay. Will there be junk removes? I don't know. The college degree group is being trick sticked and drop kicked. The degree is worthless if you're overqualified and still can't read. 90% of the people could not read a line of what Yusef clearly reads. And I agree with that. I come from a family that was very, very educated. I come from a family full of, PhDs and master degree people and things like that. So, while I was young, I was drilled on reading and the importance of reading. So that was just something that was just, yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I just think reading and comprehension that ties into everything. If you can do that, you can make money without a college degree. You don't need a college degree if you have. I don't think you need a college degree in today's world. I don't see the necessity for it, especially with the advent of AI. I'm not really seeing. I really think that college degrees have been obsolete for about 20 years. Every time I go to a function where there are a lot of wealthy people, a lot of the people there they don't have college degrees and they're wealthy because I think college kind of tends to indoctrinate you because it's public education. So anytime you're dealing with public education, the government is in control of that. And they are the ones who provide the curriculum and everything. And the point of it is to make sure that when you come out of college, you're able to obtain employment and become a taxpayer because their main concern are taxes and the repayment of the national debt. So they want people working. So my aunt, she was a vice regent in Georgia, and she explained to me how the government provides them a curriculum for all the colleges and the universities. But it was just, no, I'm not saying that you can't do anything, but I'm like, I would be, man, it would be something if I had to depend on a job. That's why I had SPC University. I wanted to help all of y'all make money too. But people have to participate. There's no free money, y'all. If you think that there's money for free, you gotta get that out of your mind about this free money stuff. There's no such thing as something for nothing. The universe abhors a vacuum. What that means, there's no empty space. Everything in the universe is about exchange. That is a law of the universe, and you're not going to be able to circumvent that. A college degree is attached to benefits and privileges. I mean, I'm going to tell you what one of the advantages I think that it does. I think that it can teach you how to think and how to reason and how to process information and make you discover how your mind works. That's how it was explained to me that college teaches you how your mind works. So I think that, in that it can provide some sort of value, but I'm not really seeing in modern times how it's really, providing any value. On a mass scale, 50% of the people flunk, don't even get their college degree who join. Most of the colleges, as my aunt was explaining to me, like the presidents, they have different goals. Like some presidents of colleges, their goal is to see how many people they can get to graduate. Other presidents, their goal is to see how many people they can get to, you know, uh, 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 join. Everybody have a different goal with these colleges. So some colleges, their goal is not to their goal is enrollment. It's not, graduation. It's how many enrollments they can get. And then some colleges they focus on how many people that they can graduate. So they all have different objectives. So that's something you need to be cognizant to. You need to be cognizant cognizant about is what college you go to, what is what that president of that university, what they're focused on, whether it's enrollment or graduation. Are you still doing that question? Have some to invest if we can both benefit from it? Yeah, I'm still doing a college. He said, talk to me nice. I'm SBC University educated. New definition of professional means it's got done. Okay. All right. Well, no, it's a call-in show. Nobody want to call in? Ask me a question? They killing I'm gonna tell you like this. I think they are suppressing my channel because the more shows I do, the fewer views I'm getting. It's almost like they trying to push me out of on this channel right here. I'm telling y'all, I'm just seeing it, and it's like, the more shows I do, the fewer and fewer views I'm getting. It's like they suppressing my channel. It's real, and I don't even know what for. Like, what are you suppressing my channel for? What am I saying now? They don't like the things I talk about. One important parts of life when I went blind is learning to pay attention to myself and how I learn and comprehend. I like to read aloud. Reading aloud, what I discovered with that is it helped me to focus and to read with attention. A lot of times people will read just to be reading the words and they're not paying attention to what they're reading. So that helped me read with attention. And when you read with attention, that allows you to comprehend and retain information that you're reading also. Is I have 3 degrees and a certificate of proficiency in accounting, everything that I can trust, learned as an autodidact, erudite. I love to learn and I'm a student of all disciplines. Okay, that's good. Autodidact means you're self-taught. Erudite means you're skillful. I love to learn and I'm a student of all. Erudite, I think it's erudite. I might have pronounced that wrong. Is it erudite? I hadn't seen that word in a while. I think it's erudite. That's a nice little word. It means that you are sharp, smart, intelligent. I like that. Good words. Autodidact. That's autodidactic. Self-taught. Nice. You can't log in. Well, you don't log in. You need to check in with customer service and you log in here. You don't log in. You must haven't been in there a while, but this is where you log in at. And if you don't have a password, then somebody will, you need to contact customer service. There is a box. You need to leave your information in that box and somebody will get back with you. And we'll take care of it for you. Okay, we got some people. What is this right here? 832 area code. What is that right there? All right, let's go over to Texas real quick. Texas, 832-5877. What's going on?
Hi, Yusef. This is Candy Johnson.
Hey, Candy Johnson, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's good.
I am a avid participant in your lives and your content on at SBC University.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's great. That's great. That's good. How do you like the classes at SBC University?
I haven't attended any of your classes.
Oh, you haven't attended a
Uh,
class? Oh, you missing out.
I have,
You missing out. That's where you're going to get the most value coming to class.
I I can appreciate
Okay.
that you value what you provide to
Okay.
the public. Um, but the reason that I have not, as of yet, participated in any classes is because I am seeking a level of understanding about different processes that is not offered through your classes as of yet. When you began partnering with, I'm not sure his name, uh, what is the gentleman that was
Oh,
introducing
you talking about Mr. Brewer.
Mr. Brewer?
Right.
That really intrigued me because he's on a higher level of understanding what I am engaged in as far as the security, uh, uh, private equity, and
Private placement memorandums and private placement structures and things of that nature. Private banking.
yes,
All right. Yeah.
right. And but I have learned from watching your older content, and I have actually utilized some of your older content to prevail in court. Um, Most specifically, some of the statements that you made about standing jurisdiction and so forth. Um, Most particularly about having firsthand knowledge of the truth. Um, and a lot of the things that I said in court, the judge said, "I see you're familiar with all the legalese," and he was kind of offended by my ability to speak their language, and I owe that to you. So I wanted to personally uh,
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank you.
for that contribution to this space. Um, and that goes without saying that if you have knowledge, you can pass it. Um, what I would like to request from you is perhaps that you could have some people who have attended your university share some of their experiences and how they, because I've gone in the comment section and asked people who said that they were a part of SCC University, but they seem to lack a lot of knowledge about anything. They're still on there asking basic fundamental questions, and I know you teach well, but I'm like, I haven't come across any testimonies of success in utilizing the information. I know you have a plethora of a library repertoire that could be utilized to anyone's benefit. But I'm looking for specific knowledge. I'm trying to set up a private banking, a credit union, and I'm looking for people like you with knowledge
Well,
in the
I don't
field.
teach people to set up private credit unions. I mean, so, but I get it. But go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead. I don't
I
teach that.
understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand. I understand. That's not knowledge for the general public, but I was kind of giving you some idea of why attending the university didn't seem to be a prioritized effort
So
on my behalf.
what do you think? How do you think any of the information that we're teaching is supposed to help you open up a crack? Even with Mr. Brewer, how do you think that any information he has or I have is going to help you and open up a credit bureau? I'm just kind of, how does that? I'm trying to figure out
Not
what
a
the connection
credit
is.
bureau, a credit. No, no, you're mistaken what I said. Perhaps the connection is a little bit frayed.
No, no,
I
you were
can
saying
create
you were saying. I'm gonna tell you what I heard you say. You haven't heard anybody give any reviews. Basically, you're saying most of my students, they don't seem to be learning anything at the university. That's number one.
not that they're
No,
not learning anything.
well, first of
I'm
all,
saying I'm
let me tell you
backing
what
up.
I'm teaching at the university. I'm teaching private ordering. I'm not trying to teach anybody how to get anything for free. I'm not trying to teach anybody how to go get some secret account or something like that and get some secret information or anything like that. No, I'm not teaching any of those things.
No, no.
What I'm teaching at SBC University right now, I'm focusing on private ordering. We're learning about how to administer a trust. Okay, one of those things you should be trying to learn, because if you're trying to open up a credit bureau operates off trust principles. So there's going to be some
I
administrate.
have trust already, and if you don't mind, I wanted
Okay,
to
well, hold on.
be
You say you already have a trust?
more than one. Uh-huh.
Okay, so what kind of trust do you have?
I have trust that operates uh, solely in the private, and it's um,
See, now let me say this. Every one of my students right now can come on this live and run circles around you right now. I get any one of my
oh,
students right now, I can pull them out and they can run circles around you on your knowledge of trust. Because I just asked you what kind of trust you have. The first thing that should have came out of your mouth,
oh,
is it revocable or irrevocable?
okay. I have one of each.
Okay, is it a business
And
trust or is it a holding trust?
I have a revocable holding trust, and I
Okay,
have
so
a
what did you put in a revocable holding trust? Because the only thing you can put in a revocable holding trust is property, and you don't shift liability. The
yes,
liability remains with you.
yes. Um, but it's an unsecured um entity. So in that regard, it is a private trust,
Let me ask y'all a question
and
in the
that means
audience.
when I say
If I have my students in, what she just said, did it make any sense in any type of knowledge about trust? What she just said. I'm gonna ask y'all. No, it don't make any sense. What you just said don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense what you just said.
it's Article 9. If you are familiar with Article
What
9
is Article 9?
security,
Article 9 is dealing with securities. We're talking about trusts. That's dealing with secure transactions. I'm talking about a trust. Okay. There's a trust has a
okay.
trust has a
You have
settler.
not allowed me to speak. That's unintelligible conversation.
Okay, wait a minute. You said you have a trust. You have several trusts. You just told me the
Yes,
reason your
sir.
trust was operating in the private was because of what? Why was it private?
It's only considered a private trust because of the way that it is styled. Okay.
Let me tell you something. If
And
you would come to class, you would see how far advanced we are in the subject of trust and how what you're saying, you don't know what you're talking about, man. With all due respect, you don't have a clue of what a trust is. A clue. Paper, first of all, a trust is a creature of equity. All right. An equity is form. One of the principles of equity is substance over form. So the filing of a piece of paper does not in any kind of way put something in a public or private type of situation. As a matter of fact, if you have a private trust, why are you filing any paperwork whatsoever?
exactly. But you didn't give me a chance, and you do that a lot, Yusuf. It's
Well, no,
very
but what you did is you came on here and you threw a slight, you insulted my students by saying that you're asking them questions as if they don't know anything. So what I'm doing right now, I'm standing in the place of my students, and you say you're a member, they're not learning anything. You want them to come on and give a testimony of what they're learning. And I will put money on it right now that every last one of them can come on this phone right now and run circles around you. I'll put money on it. I'll put
well. I'm
$1,000
not
on
in
it.
competition.
No, but
I'm
she,
not in
but you just
competition.
threw a little slight insult. So if you're gonna insult me, you
No,
wait, hold on.
truth is
If you're
truth.
gonna insult
Truth is the
me,
truth.
if you're
Let
gonna
me
insult me,
let
you got to show me you know something. And right now, I don't see where you know anything about trust. You haven't said not one word that demonstrates that you have an indenture agreement. You have an indenture agreement.
yes,
How many pages is it?
yes.
How many pages is it?
It's a lot. It's like a book. Because of the intricacies and the provisions of the trust is styled in a unique manner. And even when I started building the trust in Chat
Okay, so
GPT,
let me ask you that. Okay, so you got
Chat
Chat
GPT
GP,
called it a hybrid. Okay,
a
in the
hybrid of
concept
what?
of many of my ideas,
A
a
hybrid of
hybrid
what?
financial,
Wait, hold
a
on.
hybrid financial.
Wait a minute. Is a hybrid of what? You have a trust that's a hybrid? Is that what you're saying?
Can I finish speaking?
Wait a minute. I'm trying to get clarification because listen, I done read hundreds.
How can you get clarification if you don't allow anyone else to
Because I've
speak?
been, wait a minute, because I've been doing this for 20 years and I've been teaching trust for about 15. And I'm trying to figure out, I've never heard any of the things that you're saying. I use AI too to help me construct trust, to put together curriculums for my class, okay, to extract equitable principles from case law, because a real trust has to survive scrutiny if it's going to go into an equity court. That's the real test of whether or
I
not you
am
have a trust.
I am well aware of that, but my trust is styled where it never gets into court because anytime we have an arbitration agreement in there that says that explicitly says that anytime any of our holders, shareholders, has a conflict, that we go ahead and compensate them appropriately.
Well, that's
Not to
private
the extent.
ordering, but
Okay.
you can't put a clause like that strictly
So
in, you can't put a clause like that in a trust, because what if a trustee gets injured? Okay, you're going to have to go before equity court. If there is a dispute in the meaning of the indenture
we
agreement,
have
you have to get a
dispute.
declaration. You can't draft that into a trust. A trust is oversight of a trust is under the equity courts. It's totally under.
No, if you have private
Okay.
provisions for that already placed inside of the
Okay. Well, give me
terms and
read one of your provisions from your trust. Read a provision. Give it to me. Let me hear what it says. Read the provision.
I don't have my trust. I didn't even know that I was going to be grilled on my
Well, you're
private
going to get
business.
grilled if you come in here and you start talking to my students as if they don't know anything. I'm gonna grill the shit out of you. Because you're not only you insult
Well,
now, 'cause what you're doing, you're insulting me. Because it's like, okay, where what are you teaching at SBC University? I don't hear, ma'am, I'm gonna be honest with you. No offense, you don't know what you're talking about at all.
oh,
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking
and
about at all.
that's another
All,
reason
all you
why
keep
I
all
am
you
there
keep doing is making statements.
because you're rude. You're
Yeah, I'm rude.
rude
Well, you insulted my students. I don't know what you
to
expect.
people that's not insulting you. You're
Well, no, you
rude.
insulted my students,
I did not insult your
and so you
students. What I
indirectly
am telling
insulted
you is
me.
people go to college and don't learn anything. What does that have to do with the college?
Ma'am, you say you have a trust, okay?
People go to college
You say you
every
have a
day
trust. You
and
say
don't
you
learn.
have a trust. You're trying to open up a credit bureau.
And
Oh,
don't even use the degrees that they
you have a trust, right? You have a trust.
acquired to even
Let's
use
get
it
back. Let's get back to the trust. Let's get back to the trust discussion. So you have
So
a.
that has
So
nothing
you
to
have
do
a
with you
private.
taking things
Don't
personal
talk.
as
Don't
parents.
overtalk me. Don't overtalk me. You have a
You're
pri.
over talking me.
Yeah, because this is my show.
But that don't mean you have to be
I'm
rude.
not being rude. I'm trying to redirect the con.
Don't be
I'm trying to
disrespectful.
redirect the conversation right now. I'm trying to get back on track. You said that you have a private revocable trust. You say you have several trusts. Okay, what kind of trust do you
Yes.
have?
I have different types of trust. I
Like
have
what?
family trust
Family trust. Is
that
that
has
family?
provisions
So you got a family trust. Is that revocable or irrevocable?
irrevocable.
It's irrevocable. Okay, so who's the trustee? Who are the beneficiaries? And what is the corpus of the raise that's in the trust?
The provisions of the family trust is written as such. I'll give some generalities that the funds that are in the trust has to be distributed for equitable purposes only,
So it's not a
which
discretionary.
means
So it's not a discretionary trust. So it's a mandatory
no, it is
distribution.
not.
So it's a mandatory
Yes,
distribution. So it's not an asset protection trust. It doesn't afford any protection for the beneficiary. So the beneficiary interest can be attached by creditors since it's a mandatory distribution.
um, it's the mandatory distribution, not to the beneficiaries. It's the mandatory distribution to the revocable trust. That is I have a revocable and an irrevocable trust to
So you
cover
have a
that. But
revocable trust as a
this
benefit.
just
You have a revocable trust
yes,
as a beneficiary of an irrevocable trust.
can I speak, or
No,
you just gonna speak for me?
I'm asking because I'm looking for clarification. You said
Okay.
you have so if it's a mandatory distribution that's going into a revocable trust, so that revocable trust is the beneficiary of the irrevocable family trust. I'm just trying to make sure I'm following you.
Yes, because the uh, I have also an irrevocable trust holding. Okay, and that trust only holds. Okay, assets. Then I have an irrevocable trust. I mean a revocable trust that's funded to for business investment only. It can only the funding of that trust can only be used to fund investment. I also have I forgot the letters of it, but it's a trust that is to purpose to make provisions for lawyers or attorneys and other people with license um, credentials that are um also required in order to run the business. Okay, so the business trust. So yes, there's a lot of intricacies in trust
So you have a business trust.
setup.
So you have a business trust?
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
are you using trust capital units or units of beneficial interest?
Uh, Trust capital.
And what do those represent?
They represent the assets within the trust.
Okay, so you don't have any units of beneficial. So
They are holding.
how many units of beneficial interest did you issue for that trust, and what is the per diem amount of the value of those trust capital units?
Um, I have not set up
That
that
was a trick question, y'all.
in
All right, go.
in a way that I could just um verbally spit that out to you off the top of my head. It's a lot of intricacies that, as I was stating, I'm also still in the process of building some of the aspects of the business. So I was seeking people like you that have knowledge in it that are not credentialed and licensed and this and that, because we do have more knowledge than some people who are credentialed. So I wasn't insulting you by any means.
Okay.
Sometimes you can teach people, even your children, and they don't follow anything that you raised them to do. So
what
that's
is it?
not
Let me ask you questions. Give me an example of some of my students that are in the chat, something that they didn't know.
I don't even know if they're your students in the chat. It's a lot of people in the chat that's not your students.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just kind of curious. You
Pages from
said
your
there are
channel.
people that are students. Do you know that I got law students in my class?
And do you know that you have billionaires that's watching your channel?
I do know that. Yes, I am very much aware of that. I've had people
Okay.
offer me money. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
And
very
when
much aware that there are some people
when
with.
I first didn't understand the process, if you look in your comment section, I tried to write you a bill of exchange for $1 million towards your university, and I didn't
Wait a minute. So
realize
what is
I
that
could
drawing?
not.
Okay, so if you're writing a
This
bill
was
of
in
exchange,
my
let me
beginning
ask you a
stages. I
question.
didn't know.
Where am I supposed to take
Mhm.
what am I going to do with a bill of exchange for $1 million? You got a bank account? Where's that money coming from? That millions of dollars.
I did say when I didn't have any knowledge of how things actually work. Okay. I thought, you could just write a check and do that. And so I even, it's in your comment section. I've never erased it. But the point is that if I devalue what you're providing to the public, I'm not going to come up here and compliment you on your content and then tell you and then insult you on the back end. That's not my personality.
But you
Look me
said
up
that
and
it
maybe
doesn't.
tell
You
me.
wait a minute. You came on. You asked me, could I have some of my
You are
students?
mistaken to
Can
think
I
that
wait?
everybody
Can
who
I?
poses a
I'm
question.
trying to recount what you said. You wanted me. You started this conversation. You wanted me to get some of my students and come on the air and give a testimony of what they have learned at SBC University. Did you not say that?
Never had that. You've never had that I've seen.
Well,
You've never had that.
actually, I had testimony page on my website. Let me see if it's still
Okay.
if it's still up there. I might have because we redoing the website. Let me see if it's still up there. My testimonial. If it is.
By the way, you do have a very professional atmosphere. It's just that I think you're a little too aggressive to people that's
I'm
coming
aggressive.
on to have legitimate questions or concerns or
Okay. Well, what is your question? Well, then what
that
it
they have some knowledge.
then what is
Let me see.
then I was going to ask you what's your question?
I'm what I was asking is not necessarily a question. What my request was is that if you could have some of your students come on and give some demonstration of the knowledge that they
Okay, here go my students right here on the
would
screen.
be beneficial
Hold on, let
to
me
you.
finish. I'm finished. Right here, here is Azita Williams. She's a law student, one of my very best students at SBC University. I encountered information about legal status, capacity, and jurisdiction while studying for the bar. What I discovered stunned me. It raised fundamental questions about how individuals are classified and engaged within the American legal system. Questions that are rarely addressed directly in traditional legal education. After sitting for the bar, I began actively seeking educators who could provide real legal grounding, not just theory, slogans, or recycled talking points, but actual case law, doctrine, procedural understanding, and hold on. This is a testimony. Hold on.
But that's not what
Let
I'm
me
saying.
finish.
I'm talking about everyday people.
This is an everyday person. I got some more.
She is not
Oh, wait a
people.
minute. Oh, if you'll be quiet, I got some more. This is just the first one. Okay. There was little to no engagement with case law, jurisdiction, doctrine, statutory interpretation, or even basic legal definitions. Having studied law, it was immediately apparent when someone was teaching from a surface level understanding or flying by the seat of their pants. The lack of rigor was
I
glaring.
agree.
I first came across Yusef through another content creator on TikTok who referenced his work. I immediately went to YouTube and searched Yusef and high frequency radio. As I began watching his content, something stood out right away. He actually reads case law.
I didn't think you had any kind of
Wait a minute, hold on. These are my students.
information
These are
that
my
could
students. I asked my students to write a testimony, and I put it on my website. And this is just one. And I'm going to have some more.
recommend your channel and your university to people
Hey,
who
y'all can go ahead and
exercise.
read it. Y'all can go ahead. I'm gonna put it in the chat, the link, because she ain't gonna let me read it. Y'all go over there and y'all read the testimonials from my students at SBC University.
Why can't you have them verbally come on to the broadcast?
If they want to
And
call in right now, they can. If they're listening, I can't make them call in. Any of my students want to call in right now? Y'all want to call in? If y'all want to call in, anybody want to call in, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you called in and put your area code if you want to call in. If you want to call in right now. 352. Okay, I got you. Hold on, I got you right now. Okay, 352. Let me see. 352-9894. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up? So I mean, yeah. So what does she want? What does she would like to hear? Would she like to hear something that I've learned? Because I know that I was about to find myself in jail if it wasn't for the fact of finding Yusuf talking about the administrative
I
process.
believe
And that's all we
that.
did.
So
Let
I'm
me
not
finish.
talking about going to
Listen,
jail.
I understand that. Listen, and my study in the application of that secure party creditor, it gave me the concept of what private administrative process is involved with for several distinct phases. It moved me from a core of understanding commercial theory to be sophisticated, understanding multi-tiered trust architecture that bridges the private autonomy with this so-called statute compliance and jurisdiction. Okay, so I mean, learning trust is what he's saying. He's not trying to get on you because you're like, oh, he's male chauvinist or whatever. At the end of the day, going on
And
these principles.
how have you utilized that? May I ask a question?
Yeah.
How have you, because I've learned the secured party process through his videos as well. And I stated that at the beginning, okay? Wasn't allowed to finish what my testimony of what I've learned from.
Wait a minute, hold on. Why are you you just asked me, to have a student call in.
I never got
I'm not talking about going to jail, though. I know
No,
you
I
helped
ain't
them.
talking about
Okay, well that's wait, hold on. That's what it's for. See, your problem is you think this secure party stuff is for something it was never meant for. You trying to probably buy something or start a bank.
Talking about it doesn't mean that's what I was going to say. That brought me into a whole other position of understanding public and private. I'm what now? 19 months into studying trust, and I just now started structuring. Everybody else wants to put their foot out there, pay some people to get a trust, and we've been reading about these guys for the last year now on going to jail because they don't know how to administer it. And that's all he's trying to say. He's trying to see if you know exactly what you're saying when you're administering a revocable trust on the public side.
My trust is vested at Bank of America.
Well, I don't really know all that.
So,
I'm just saying he's just trying to say that what is your distinction on being able to use that vehicle and still use it with a private trust backing it on the private side? You're not really giving him a detail on how you structured anything, so it sounds like you
I did.
understand. You got to get it out. I know it's kind of hard to get it on the phone.
He's not allowing me, and you know, and you will know that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, he's asked you a question, and he's waiting for it, and you're searching around that question.
He's expecting me to give him the exact answer that he's asking for, and I may verbalize it in a different fashion, but
Well, I didn't even get to finish, ma'am. I didn't even get to finish to tell you that even though I started the SP, secure party agreement, trying to get out of stuff, started to realize that my whole framework of theory of law was over zealous on these platforms, and that's all he's saying. I began
Me
to
too.
really examine commercial law and the reference of that. What it meant, what for me was the Uniform Commercial Code that brought out all this. And I found Yusef. And I looked at some of the historical statutes and then established a distinct between the private and the public and the individual public and corporate entities and private individuals. Now, that core of that
Right.
administrative package I was looking at, it gave me a structure and a foundational documentation required to establish a real commercial standing. That's what these guys don't do out here. They don't realize going to the SPC, you got to go all the way and you got to set that up. And you use the law of contracts to find them.
You know what?
That's
You know what
I'm
she
trying to say.
think? You know
All
what
these
she
guys
think? You know what
Go
she
ahead.
think? SBC University. See, she's one of those type of people that just go over there and look and want to do
Wow.
something. It's a university. I'm teaching you how to administer a trust, what everything means. Okay, that's what it is. A school, because you know what I found out?
Yes,
I found out it's a lot of
understand.
it's a lot of individuals like you who have some sort of unrealistic expectations as it relates to all this information. You have a
I
misunderstanding.
find myself humbled in it every day. I
You
find myself humbled in it every day. And that's what comes from natural law. I got to know that I'm
You
not
don't know
trying to
anything
look.
about me. How can you make
I can listen.
assumptions
I'm listening
that
what you,
aren't
I don't need to know anything about you. I'm listening to what you're saying. What you're saying is, what have they done with it? That's what you asked, right?
Yes.
So what do
How
you,
do
why
you
do you think,
utilize the information? You learn things
okay, let me
every
finish,
day. You don't utilize
let
it
me
the
finish. How
right
long do you think it takes to learn
way.
how long do you think it takes to learn how to administer a private trust?
Years.
No, it don't
Exactly.
take
I'm 18
years.
months in. I'm 18 months in, and I'm just now starting the structure. And I have to pay for a note. I have a family. I'm a second grandfather now. I got 2 grandbabies. I'm just like
I've been
everybody else.
watching Yusef for years, and I've learned some in and outs through watching his content. But what I was
I not want to interrupt you, love, but when we watch you, sometimes these platforms, it's like you're not getting the real deal. He teaches you how to teach yourself at school. Sorry, Seafood, that's the truth. At the end of the day, if you really wanted to learn more and expand your knowledge, then we're going to seek it out. You don't find that in these platforms and chambers. You got to really
right.
in the course of letting somebody show you how to really
And if
teach
he
yourself.
had allowed me to, I could have told him I used the information I learned on his channel to further educate myself
I understand
and
that.
also help other people by recommending them to his channel. So to say that
That
I'm
wasn't, wait a minute,
degrading
that
the
ain't the problem.
quality
That
of
wasn't the
information
problem.
provided
That wasn't the problem. The problem
is
was
obvious.
you came on here and you said it appears like your students don't know anything.
Connection is distorted.
Yeah, it's got a little extorted, but I never even got to finish to come to the things I was trying to say that
Well, the
I've done.
connection is distorted.
I've learned and become intelligent in this field all because I continue to do courses and classes. And you're
Right.
now I'm ready to structure. But do you think
Right.
I'm one of those that's going to structure the long way? No, I'm the guy that actually goes backwards before I go forward. I'm that guy, and that's what he said that all of us need to be. And you know what? You might go to class, and I guarantee you you're going to find something that what I'm saying. You're going to find that niche that's in there because you just like the word itself or the truth or the Kabbalah. You have to keep going over and over. These principles come alive, like Hebrews 4:12 is about the word of God. And it's not going to come alive if we're not inundated every single day. And we'll kind of come together. We're trying to build something together. Let's get like-minded and be able to build together. And that's what you were trying to say, right? You don't see anybody that you can do that with.
That's what I'm trying to say. We need to come together, not fight each other.
Well, I know. When you're coming in, it sounds like you biting and you're ridiculing, and you're not. I heard you say that you blessed the fact that he was giving teaching, but you don't know how many students are in his class. You don't know how many people are really.
Please say anything about numbers or anything like that. I do think that Yusef has the best, I'll say, fundamental knowledge and understanding of any of these complex processes that is available online, and that is what I tell my constituents. I do also prep them that he is very aggressive, but if you
But
can listen past that, you can
let me
learn.
ask you a question.
And
Let me ask you a
because
question.
I'm realistic,
Let me ask you a question.
yes,
When Mr. Brewer had the class, did you come to Mr. Brewer's class?
I didn't come to Mr. Brewer's
Okay,
class.
so
I
then
didn't know Mr.
I don't
Brewer's
understand.
class
I
either.
understand. I brought that class because you're saying I got basic knowledge. Okay, Mr. Brewer is an individual. He monetizes negotiable instruments. I've witnessed all of
You
this.
have basic knowledge that if you have just that basic knowledge, you can do damage. That's what I'm saying. You can do damage with that
Yeah,
basic
you know, let
knowledge
me
that
tell you
you
something. Let me
provide
tell you,
because
let me
the
tell you
rules
something. This is why I
detail
talk about
that.
managing. This is what I mean by managing expectations. It's not easy to you can have the knowledge and it's still not easy to monetize negotiable instruments. You have to bring value. Okay.
That's right. You got to create value first. So
You
what we
got to
have to do
create
is we have to
value. You're
create
not pulling
different
nothing out of
structures.
thin air and just getting
I
something
have
for
a lot
nothing.
of intellectual property, different inventions and things of that nature. I don't need nobody to teach
Okay,
me none of
okay, you
that.
got a lot of
I
intellectual
have
property. Does somebody
look
want
me
to
up.
does
Look me up. My name is
have you put
Wendy,
a
Wendy.
have you put together a private placement memorandum and made an offering for all of that?
That's what I'm. That's what I'm in the process.
Okay,
I've
then why you didn't
already
come to class
done.
why you didn't come to class when we had a $297 class because ain't nobody giving you the information for free. We had a class. This man has been doing this for over 20 years. Okay, he is a professional. I only deal with professionals. And you didn't come to class, and now you want to come on my live and talk about what we're not teaching or what we're showing and everything like this.
I
And
didn't say you
if you
wasn't
want
teaching.
it,
I said
all right, go
I
ahead.
am not understanding where the knowledge that you are teaching and what I was doing at the time where they intersect. When you had Mr. Brewer come on, that really got my attention to engage further. But it's been only like
And yeah, you know why? You know
2 or 3
why? You know
weeks.
why? I'll tell you why. Because Mr. Brewer, he's not going to come on here and talk to you every day for free. He's not doing that. Mr. Brewer's not doing. He got time for that.
I,
Wait, let me put it like this. I don't have time for it, really. He tells me to get off the air. He said, "Mo, why are you
I
talking to these
know.
people? Ain't spending no money with you. They ain't spending no money.
Well,
You want somebody. Let me tell you something. What professionals understand. Time
let
is.
me ask you something. I would like to ask you something. Are you
I'm gonna mute you because you're gonna stop interrupting me. All right. I'm showing you the power I got that this is my show. You need to stop interrupting me while I'm talking. Okay, because that's very rude. All right, you always talking about what type of person I am. I'm aggressive because I have to deal with individuals like you. Okay, they overtalk me, things like that. I ain't got a chance to finish what I'm saying yet. So you're muted right now. Nobody can hear you. I don't know if you're still talking, but nobody can hear you right now. Okay. I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. Yes, trust, private placement memorandums, all that stuff ties together. But you got to understand how all that operates. And it takes time to learn that. Attorneys go to law school for 3 years. You're not going to learn everything you need to learn just in one sitting. He offered a private mentorship for $5,600. All right, one person signed up for it. All right. Because you know why? Because in this demographic, in this space, this is a space for people who are looking for something for nothing. Okay, there are other demographics of people, $5,600 is peanuts. Okay, and that is the market he would like to talk to. He don't want to spend his time talking to people. You're sitting here talking about getting millions of dollars, and you think that somebody's going to give you the knowledge for $9.99. That's not going to happen. That's just unrealistic. So if you're doing all these things that you're saying, okay, he offered the class. He offered a mentorship where he'll do one-on-one with you. We had it up for a month. I teach, I'm going to say this. The price that I teach for private trust is $99. And that is chumping me off because it should be at least $3,500. And that's what it's going to go up to.
I'm
So,
glad I got my teachings quick before you do.
and let me say
You know,
something else.
because-
I'm very
yeah.
sensitive. I'm gonna tell you why I'm sensitive about my students, because my students, they are some of the most loyal individuals that I got. They have their butt in the seat every time we have class. And I bring it every time. I spend 2 hours a night talking with my students from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And no, I'm not teaching you how to go and file a UCC1 and go discharge something or anything. No, I've already said that. If you're coming over there for that, we got videos over there for that. I'm teaching them how private placement work. What is the difference between public and private? How to put together an irrevocable trust. How to administer an irrevocable trust, the importance of citi shopping, the difference between a domestic asset protection trust and an offshore asset protection trust.
That's getting good, sir. That's getting good. I want some more of that.
It's the ultimate.
Yeah.
So,
listen, I don't want to keep you on the phone. I mean,
go ahead, brother. I'm on
I
mute.
doubt you.
I just wanted you to call in. It's a couple of people called in. I'm gonna bring somebody else in just a second. But let me open up a mic.
I love you, brother.
I appreciate you. All right, so your mic is back open. Your mic is open. Your mic's open.
Okay. Assuming that because a person has questions, and that's one thing that I
This ain't about your questions. This is about you insulting my students.
To appreciate even complaints, because complaints let you know where you're falling deficient.
So you got a complaint? Is that what you're saying right now, that you got a complaint? You got a complaint?
If I receive any complaints, I do not address them in that negative manner.
Hold on. I had to mute you for a second. Are you saying you have a complaint? I'm asking you a question. Do you have a complaint? Do you have a complaint?
That was not what I said.
Okay. All right.
You're going off on a tangent on something that's not even factual. That's unintelligible. What I did say is I design my businesses in a manner to appreciate if there's any concerns or complaints, because of the fact complaints let you know where your plan or your design of your organization may have some deficiencies.
I haven't had any complaints.
Well, you've been complaining that your
No, I'm complaining. What I'm complaining is people are cheap and don't have any money.
Okay, well, that's not my situation. Okay.
Okay, well, we offer to mentor. We offer. Would you like? Hold on. Would you like to be mentored by Mr. Brewer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put the link back up. You can join Mr. Brewer, okay, and he will be happy to do a one-on-one.
I have one question for you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Do you have the capacity to do settlements through the clearinghouse?
Do you have the capacity to do what?
Do you have the capacity to process notes through the clearinghouse?
Okay, when you process, that's Mr. Brewer's expertise, dear. Okay, the clearinghouse. Wait, hold on. First of all, you have to be a DTC participant. Are you a DTC participant?
I am applying to be.
Okay, so you don't have the capacity either to be. All you have to say is, are you a D? All you have to say, listen. First of all, the DTC is reputation-based control. Ain't nobody getting in there if you have a conviction. All right. So if you have a criminal record, you're not getting into the DTC. You do understand that, right?
You do understand that you don't have to represent yourself. You can have someone.
I understand that, and that's why we deal with the people that we deal with. But what? Hey, ma'am, listen. You don't know anything about the clearinghouses, the DTC, or anything like that, all right? No, you don't.
I studied directly from. Okay.
From who? From who? From who? Wait a minute, hold on. From who? From who? From who? From who? From who?
The Federal Reserve has classes online for free.
Okay, so you know the people in the world who are going to, when you make offerings, they're going to accept your offering. You know these people around the world.
That's irrelevant to my question.
No, that's relevant to the clearinghouse. That's relevant to private placement memorandums. That's relevant to private banking. I've been around this man for about 15 years. I didn't watch what he's doing. I don't do that directly, but I've been around him long enough to understand how this stuff works. And it's nothing like what you're talking about. You're talking about $100 million deals, $500 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion bonds, and things like that. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, so have you gotten some on the screen? Have you gotten some on Euroclear?
And if I
because he on his class, he's showing you what he has on the screen. Okay, do you have anything on the screen?
On what screen?
At the DTC. At the clearinghouse.
I told you I'm in the process of doing things.
Okay, so I don't know, why are you asking me, do I have the capacity? I have never even claimed anything about the DTC.
I was asking. I didn't know if you did or if you didn't. I'm just asking.
Okay, well, you don't have the capacity to do anything. What are you talking about? You don't have the capacity to do anything. Let me tell you something. It's only about 3% of the people in the world that can actually monetize instruments. Do you know that? Do you know that? And 97% of the stuff that's floating around out there is fraudulent.
I do agree with that.
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking. So what's so special about you? What's so special about you?
Well, for one thing, I'm not asking for any value from any imaginary trust. I have my own value. I have over 356 songs. As far as intellectual property,
you got 356. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. You got 356 songs. Are you receiving some revenue from that? Are you receiving, ma'am, are you receiving revenue from those songs?
Yes.
They're
called royalties. I'm ASCAP licensed.
Okay, so are you an artist or did you write these songs?
I'm more than that. That's, you ask me what makes me special, I'm way more than
okay,
that.
So what's your name? What's your name? Then if you're getting royalties, we should know who you are.
Candy, K-A-N, capital D.
Candy what?
I'm the only Candy Johnson.
Okay, and you're an artist?
I also have the trademark Legendary. You've seen a lot of people with the Legendary brand shirts on. That is my intellectual.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're getting. Okay.
So, let me explain.
So you're getting royalties from ASCAP.
Did not know anything about being wealthy. So engaging in learning these processes, I learned that.
Look, man, you're going to stop over talking me. So you know what? I'm going to talk to you later because, you're going to stop over talking me. All right? I'm going to go and bring somebody else in because I'm tired of you interrupting me. Got a problem. I don't care who you are. I'm be honest. I'm going to put that up. You want to go over there and you want to look at it, you can do that. All right, but don't come in here and be on trying to, on the slide talk about my students. You ain't even been to a single class I'm teaching or anything like that. I'm offering them to come in and talk. All right, you start talking about stuff I don't even teach. I don't even teach nothing about the DTC or anything like that, but I got a partner who does. Okay, and says, you got so many royalties. Hey, sign up for his mentor class because you're not going to meet many people like Mr. Brewer. You're not going to meet many people like him. That I can promise you. I can promise you that. You're not going to meet many people like him and his connections. I wish you would come on now and start talking to you. For real, I wish you would have came on. Let me bring in somebody else. 251. I got time to be talking to this lady, man. Talking all over me and everything, man. Oh, man. Then talk about why I'm so rude. Yeah, Alabama, you on the line.
Hey, what's up, Yusef? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's happening, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. This is Smart Local TV. I come in and I watch it live from time to time. I wanted to talk about the separation of powers thing. I got some cases.
The separation of what? Well, hold on. Okay, I hear you. The separation of what?
Separation of powers.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Let me take you off speaker. Hold on. All right, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So, if you're in front of your laptop or your computer, can you pull up this citation of authority? It's an Alabama Supreme Court case.
Okay.
The citation is it's 249 Alabama, and it's on page 688. So it's 249 Alabama 688, and it's Cherokee County versus Savage.
All right, let me see. Okay, 249 Cherokee County versus who?
Savage.
Savage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, Cherokee County versus Savage. All right. I'm gonna put it on the screen so everybody can see it.
Yeah. I want them to see it.
All right, I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's up? What's going on with this case law?
Now the case is extremely long, but I just want to point out what they said in the case. So if you can, I think it's Control F to where it lets you search for the particular terms.
Okay.
Particular word real fast. So it starts at
Oh, well, this is the lead opinion I got right here. Hold on, let me see if okay, Cherokee. Okay, this is the lead. This is not the whole case. Hold on, let me see if I can Alabama reports. Let me see if this is it right here. Cherokee versus, and let me go to Google Scholar. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up on Google Scholar. Because
Google Scholar, or you can go on case.law. Case.law has cases from like the 1600s on there, and they in PDF format.
Okay. Oh shit. Hold on.
You can go on there.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it. I'm gonna pull the site real quick and see if I can just Cherokee County. This is LexisNexis, Alabama, 249. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. No, Cherokee. Cherokee County versus Savage. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay, let me you said it's on what? Where did you pull it at? Cherokee County versus Savage.
You can you should be able to find it either on CaseMine, CASE.
Yeah, I'm on. I think I was just on. I'm on legal research, so let me see if CaseMine. Okay, CaseMine. Okay, CaseMine. Cherokee County Board of Education.
I don't know if that's the whole citation of Board of Education.
No, that's not. That's not it. Cherokee County. I'm not seeing it, y'all. Cherokee County.
I got an idea. Go to your browser and type in case.law.
Case.law.
Yeah.
All right. Case.law. Case law, fine law. Okay. And this is in, okay, so I got that up. So it says keyword citation required. View results. Let's see. All right. State versus Savage. Case of criminal court. State versus Savage. Cherokee County versus Martin. Savage. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Why is this so hard to find?
Oh, but let me see.
If you got the link to it, if you got, I'll tell you what. Let me read the lead opinion. The lead opinion is not that long. It says, sued by Honorable F. Savage, judge of the Cherokee Law and Equity Court against Cherokee County, a municipal corporation, for a declaratory judgment to determine the constitutionality of a local act enacted by the legislature of Alabama and approved July 22nd, 1947, abolishing the Cherokee Law and Equity Court, and for the determination of other questions to be noted later. Is that what you're talking about?
I didn't read the entire case. Once I found what I wanted out of it.
Okay, well, just tell me what you found out of it. Just tell me what you found out of it.
All right, that'll work. All right, so let me pull it back up on my phone right quick. All right, so this is what it says. It says, in this case, based on State Ex Rel, Winter versus Sayer, and then there's another case I think. It says, when in dealing with the distribution and exercise of judicial power, it was said, the system is in itself and of itself complete. And though there has been a grant or reservation to the General Assembly of power to establish inferior courts of law and equity, there has not been any part or any fragment or any fraction of judicial power left in abeyance, awaiting the happening of any future event or the exercise of future legislative power to vitalize or quicken into authority. Even if the General Assembly never exercised the power to establish inferior courts with which it was clothed, and its exercise is purely a matter of legislative discretion, the whole element of sovereignty known as judicial power would exist, confined to tribunals which may properly be said to be of constitutional creation. This is back to that separation of powers thing you was talking about yesterday.
Right.
Now there's
hold on. My Chat GPT found it. You want me to read what Chat say? I got it on.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I got it on the screen for everybody. It says, yes, Cherokee County versus Savage, volume 249, Alabama Reporter, page 688, as well as volume 32. I guess it's Southern Reporter, second edition, page 803. Alabama, 1947 is an important case for the constitutional versus statutory court distinction we have been examining, but there is a very important limitation on how far we can carry it into the federal Article 1, Article 3 discussion. What happened? Alabama's legislature created the Cherokee Law and Equity Court by statute in 1943. F.M. Savage became its judge in 1947. The legislature passed another statute abolishing that court. Savage challenged the abolition. Well, I don't understand. If the legislature created it, they should be able to abolish it. I don't see
no problem with that.
I don't see any problem. It said the Alabama Supreme Court expressly characterized the tribunal this way. It's a legislative court. The Cherokee Law and Equity Court is not a constitutional court. It immediately explained that it was instead a statutory court of record with limited jurisdiction. That distinction is precisely why this case caught your attention. The major principle, the court said, the legislative power to create a court carries with it the power to abolish it. Because the legislature created, and that's what I'm saying about the district courts. They got the ability because the Judiciary Act created these courts, not the Constitution.
Exactly.
Not the Constitution didn't create them. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's like they play with your mind with these courts, and they're like, look, man, okay, the Constitution is the one that vested the Supreme Court with their authority. Okay, the Constitution did not vest, okay, the Congress with any judicial power. Even though they can create a court, but those courts are enforcing statutes, they're legislative courts. And the courts will have appellate jurisdiction over it, but original jurisdiction rests with the Supreme Court in its judicial capacity. And that's usually because they are the defenders of private rights. And that's why they say either something is constitutional or unconstitutional. So let's finish reading it. It said the major principle. The court said the legislative power to create a court carries with it the power to abolish it. Because the legislature created that particular statutory court, the legislature could eliminate it along with the judge's remaining term. But there is an even more interesting passage. The Alabama Supreme Court relied on State ex rel versus Winter and Sayring in explaining where the actual judicial power came from. Its reasoning was essentially this. The state constitution had already distributed the judicial power. The legislature's failure to create additional inferior courts would not leave some portion of judicial power floating around waiting for legislative action. Instead, the complete judicial power will remain vested in the constitutionally created tribunals. I have no problem with that. That's the same thing on the federal level.
Yep. See, what they're doing is, based off the research that I came across, I've reasonably concluded that they're trying to make these inferior so-called courts look like real courts and function like real courts.
And that has been the argument in the sovereign community. When I first came into this, that's all we were taught. That's why rule number 4 is it's a public play. Okay, there's 4 rules of the game. There is no money, public and private don't mix, stay in honor at all costs, and the original saying was do not participate in public plays. There's a play when you're going on into these courtrooms because of what they really are. So that's been the arguments from day one. That's why that 6th Amendment thing came in, because we were coming, okay, is this civil or criminal? They said, well, it's criminal. Okay, well, if it's criminal, the Constitution only grants you 2 criminal jurisdictions. One is under the common law and the other constitutes a condition of contract. And the admiralty, because the admiralty had a criminal aspect to it too, but it was civil in nature with the admiralty. Mm-hmm. Admiralty was a civil jurisdiction. So you're really trying to find out the true nature. You're trying to find out if it's civil or not, and which there's a lot of evidence that points toward that with the bonds that they're creating, the things that they're doing behind the scenes, all these different things. That was the original argument. That was the original reason that the secured party process was established, not by these people coming in and trying to make credit bureaus and shit like that. Like that lady who just came on the phone talking about, and it wasn't created for any of that. It was not created. It was a byproduct of that. People started making a byproduct of it. Okay, well, there isn't any money, so the government has to pay for everything. There ain't any money, but there is the thing that is real and true is that money is created by the creation of debt, and private individuals can do that too. Yes, private bankers can do that. You can't do that, but there's a process to doing it. You have to establish value, and it's not going to come. The birth certificate process was solely for setting off debt because of what the government owed back, but it wasn't to do all these things that people trying to buy cars, enrich themselves with it, and everything wasn't ever meant for that process. And that's why they get so much pushback from it, because they want to get free houses, free cars. I've never seen. And studying this, even with the monetization, because she talked about going through the DTC, they want to see what type of project you got. You got a humanitarian project. What are you trying to do? A lot of people think you can approach this information and they're just going to give you some money. I've never seen that. I've never seen somebody just being given some money without returning some value in return in some capacity. I haven't seen it. That's me. If it is, I've never seen it. I haven't read it. I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it, But I don't want to get off point. Yeah. Okay, what we're talking about, so this case right here, the chat says, yes, it's very similar to what we've been talking about.
I got one more that I want to read. It's just really a case citation.
Okay.
But, it answered the question that you were asking yesterday.
Okay, what is
it? It's a principle because the citation says, accordingly, while the circuit court is ordinarily a court of general jurisdiction, in the particular proceeding now before us, it is made a court of limited jurisdiction by the statutes. It is the settled rule that where a special authority in derogation of the common law is conferred by statute on a court of general jurisdiction, it becomes quad hoc an inferior or limited court. A compliance with the requisites of the statute is necessary to its jurisdiction and must appear on the face of the proceedings. And then it just cites a whole bunch of cases that support its conclusion as to why it just said what it said. a lot of people don't know this, but appeals are like when you appeal to the United States Supreme Court, appeals are foreign to common law. It's not how at the common law. That's not how superior courts, well, the Supreme Court. That's not how they review the record. They review the record by writ of certiorari. That's why you have a statutory writ of certiorari, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, it's a writ of.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, bring the record forth. But the thing about it is this, because society has changed. You know, the common law. Okay, let's talk about the common law, because that really gets into a discussion about the common law and exactly what the common law is. The common law is judge-made law. It is originally what it was is it was traditions. That a people had, when society was small.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, and everybody had an agreement on how they were going to live together. And a lot of times it was predicated off of your religious belief. Like in America, the foundation of law in America is the Bible and William Blackstone commentaries that come out of England. Okay, so that was the foundation of the common law. So the decisions, when somebody would have a dispute, is unwritten law as well, the lex non scripta. It wasn't written down. So when two people would have an argument, and the judge would adjudicate that, he'd write down his decision using the principles of the common law, and then that writing that decision, that was evidence of the common law. And then they started to systemize it and said, okay, we got to stay consistent in our decisions, and that's where the stare decisis and all that came from. And then it just grew, and then it started to grow. And then the government, when they came in, they were given authority. So they had to set up a structure to adjudicate the authority that's been delegated to them. And that's what the statutes represent. The statutes represent the authority that the government exercises over the jurisdiction that has been delegated to them. Okay, and that's why you can't say that statutes are unconstitutional or unlawful or anything like that. That's not true. You got to understand what the demarcation line that separates public from private. You got to understand where their jurisdiction is and where the private domain is. And their jurisdiction is huge. It's been enlarged largely because on the federal level because of the Commerce Clause. Everything has been associated with business and commerce. Everything has been associated with that. And then people are living in cities now. Back then when the Constitution was drafted, wasn't no cities. Wasn't any of these things when the Constitution was put together. This was an agricultural country. People grew their own food. You had to draw your own water. You had to use the bathroom out in the outhouse. You rode a horse. If somebody came on your land, you could shoot them. You could stand in the middle of the street and shoot each other. That was at the beginning. That's when all of this was.
They were very small.
Yeah, it was small.
The cities, they were very small. Very small.
Yeah, so today, now we have a more organized society. You have a lot of stuff changed in 1933. And that's when they started introducing the welfare state. And that's the biggest change that happened to the structure of the law. What happened, and everything goes back to 1933 and with the taking of the gold. And now because we were forced, in my opinion, this is where my theory comes in now. I don't want to be talking as if I'm this is an authority, I'm saying. Okay, when they took the gold and silver, okay, people had to, now you're forced to use everything that they are. You're forced to use the Federal Reserve notes. And they established a Federal Reserve system. Everybody's using Federal Reserve notes. The entire United States of America. Every store you go into, every bank, every deal that's being done, everything is being done through Federal Reserve notes. The Federal Reserve is not a United States. That is a foreign bank. That's a foreign bank. And they got a contract with them. That's why we have the Federal Reserve Act. That was it, Woodrow Wilson signed into law in 1912. As soon as he signed it into law, the next year we had a war in he signed into law in 1913, and then in 1914 he started World War I, and then by 1933, 20 years later, the whole country bankrupt. And he said, if you go find his quote, he said what he did. He said he did a terrible thing, that he turned over the entire country over into the hands of a few powerful private individuals. And that's what we're still suffering from to this very day. And so when we talk about the statutes are created to pay the national debt, to draw private, to get private energy from you for the repayment of the national debt. Everything is geared toward that. The national debt is behind everything that is happening in this country. Everything.
Well, I think that's kind of our fault too, due to ignorance, because people they don't really know that they're dealing with a territorial government and that they are living in a territory. They don't really see it.
They don't. Well, that's what I've been trying to explain to everybody. That's what I said. You got to understand the difference between public and private. But they think that they can live in a city, drive a car, or use a conveyance, travel in it's still a 6,000-pound piece of metal capable of killing someone. Okay, the state has what's called inherent powers and police powers. Police powers are a part of their inherent powers, but police powers do not have to be enumerated. That's inherent. That's a power that's inherent just by the fact of them being the government. It doesn't have to be enumerated. They have a duty to protect their citizens. The general duties of the government is to protect your borders, protect your property, and protect your liberty. Outside of that, everything else is a benefit and a privilege. This is a free country. That's why this is a free country. But in 1933, they changed it to a welfare state. This is an encroachment of this socialist, communist, Marxist mindset that they've been trying to infiltrate the country for a long time. They've been dealing with, go back in the 60s and listen to Langston Hughes. He was a communist. The Black Panther organization was a communist. Martin Luther King, he was accused of being a communist. All the people that they propped up and want us to elevate as our black leaders turn out to be communists. And they still trying to do it today through the Democratic Party. We can get into a discussion because we can say, who owns the Federal Reserve? All Jewish individuals. Who are the person that financed the civil rights era? Jewish individuals. Who financed all your HBCU colleges? Jewish individuals. Who owns Facebook? Jewish individuals. Instagram, Jewish individuals. Pornhub, Jewish. OnlyFans, Jewish. Google, Jewish. YouTube, Jewish. But I can't say that. And I'm going to say this, if you're Jewish and you're looking, I'm not accusing you of anything. You have a right to take over if they allow you to take over. If they are so mentally weak, and they are so facile-minded as to fall for anything, you're not wrong in doing what you're doing. Because there have been many people. Henry Ford wrote a book called The International Jew. Let me pull it up for you right now. He spent half of his fortune. And I hate to turn this in. I'm not trying to start Jew bashing because I really don't like that, because I don't look at them as an evil people or something like that. I look at it as they understand the laws of the universe better, than everybody else. They don't masturbate. They deal with their own. Ain't no women going to be running anything in a community. You're not going to see that at all. You're not going to see that. Everything that they got you doing, everything they don't do. You go in their communities, they ain't breaking up their families. Go listen to Rabbi Finkelstein. He told you straight up what they were doing. But y'all, that ain't real. Everything he's talking about is happening. Why it's not real? How can it not be real? People say something is not real when everything that is talking about is happening. Same thing with the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. Same type of situation. Everything. Right here it is, right here. This man wrote this book. This is the man who made Ford Corporation, Henry Ford. Then you got My Irrelevant Defense by Arnold Lease. It's a whole bunch of people who have come. The White Man's Bible. It's a lot. David Duke talks about it. It's a million people talk about it, but none of you listen. They are the ones who established democracy and the Democratic Party. 75% of Jewish individuals are Democrats. 75%, I think it's 80%, it's 85%. Something like 85% of them are Democrats. So they established it, and they admit this. I'm not saying anything that they haven't admitted. They admit this. They admit that they did all of this. You're just not listening. You don't listen to that because you want to talk about Donald Trump. Trump is evil. Trump is he a dictator. All these kind of things right here. But you ain't paying attention to where the real power lies. He's, oh, Trump is aligning with Israel. Israel is in control of every monetary system on planet Earth. The Rothschilds got 75% of all wealth on planet Earth. Yeah, they in control. Because Mayor Amsher Rothschild said it. I don't care who makes the laws. Give me control of the money. I don't care who makes the laws. That's on the public record. Your Federal Reserve Board, every Secretary of Treasury is Jewish. Your Federal Reserve Board, they're all Jewish. The last administration, 75% of the administration was Jewish. Almost the entire cabinet of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, almost 75 people, no, it was 72 people in his administration, they were all Jewish. That's a fact. They hide all of that information. But if we talk about it, we're looking like we're racist. There is one group of people that are pushing an agenda. They are the ones pushing the New World Order, okay? They're pushing the agenda. And I can't get mad at them for it because they are conditioning the world that they want to. And if they got the power, the resources, and the wherewithal, and everybody is stupid like animals and everything, how are you going to fault them? I can't fault them. I can't fault them for you being stupid. I'm not going to be mad at these people because you're stupid. Because that's what they call you, the Goyim. They say the Goyim are like animals. You can go right now. They got a video right here on YouTube right now. I can pull it up, all right, and listen to them over there talking about you right straight out of Israel, that you're not really human beings. And then he gives an example that I had to agree with. What do you do besides eat, sleep, and reproduce? You kill your own. Look at how we acting. Look at our women. Look at our men. You walking around trying to question what is a man or a woman. Hey, look at you, a beast. Beast. This is beast type activity. Well, I can't argue with these people. When there's certain things, when Sexy Red came out with that first song, I said, ain't no way. This chick is a major star. I'm listening to it. She got lipstick called gonorrhea, lip gloss, and people are buying it. You don't honor your oath to God in your marriages. You say that you're the original Jews. You don't follow none of the 613 laws in the book of Deuteronomy or Leviticus. Do you take a bar mitzvah? A son or a bat mitzvah, son of the covenants and daughter of the covenants? Do you make a covenant with the Creator? Do you honor the Creator? And hell, most of y'all out there, y'all have got to the point y'all don't even believe in God. There's a lot of people claiming to be atheists now. Which as feminists are atheists. They don't admit it, but they're atheists. And it tells you right there in Leviticus 25:45 that they can make slaves out of heathens. And that's what you are when you engage in all of these activities. You are a heathen, and they are under God has sanctioned them to make slaves out of you, what they call bond servants. They're going to put you in debt. All right? Those are debt. And that is what you are. They are in control of the monetary system, and you owe them. They got you indebted to them. And if you read the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, the man said straight in there, y'all didn't have to come to us to get no money. The government could have went to their own people, but they didn't want to do that. They've been trying to get a hold of our monetary system for years, all the way going back to Andrew Jackson. And now they got control of it. And we $40 trillion in debt. You don't care about that. You don't think it means anything. You think the government is corrupt. Trump, the number one thing he came in, I got to get this national debt down. Let's do the tariffs. They started crying about that. Ain't no manufacturing over here. I travel the world. Some of you people out there traveling the world, you know ain't none of our cars over there in any of these foreign countries. How come everybody can trade with us, but we can't trade with them? How come we got all these European and Asian cars in our country? Ain't none of our stuff over there. And they done moved, and the people who moved them out of the country were the Jewish owners, moved all your manufacturing out of the country over to foreign country for cheaper labor, and then ship it back over here and sell it to you. And Trump raised tariffs. He said, nah, bring that back. But he made it where they can't afford to do that. He made it expensive, where they might as well put the plant back in the United States. They trying to get rid of him real quick. They own all the media, so the media has not been on Trump's side for 8 years. You a facile-minded fool if you listen to anything on the major networks. You're not as intelligent as you think you are. You think you know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You can look at the moves our president is making, and you can see he's doing what he can. Trump has been consistent in his opinions ever since he was in his 20s. They got interviews with him with Rona Barrett. Go listen to the interview with him with Rona Barrett. I think he may have been about 27 years old when she was asking him, would you ever be president? And he was telling he's going to be a strong person. He said, we need to bring business, because he already was traveling the world doing business. If you listen to him when he was in his 20s and listen to him now, he hasn't changed his position one bit. He has been consistent. And you know why you don't like him? Because he's a winner. Every time it looked like he's going to lose, he wins. Because he understands, he never talks negative about himself either. Never. Because he understands the law of attraction. And y'all hate that. He's arrogant. He's this. No, he understands how the laws of nature work. You don't talk negative about yourself. He talks about what the country's going to do and what it's going to be. We're going to make America great again. He's speaking that into existence. Is he going to do everything right? No. What president does? You know why? Jesse Ventura, he made the best statement I ever had when he was governor of Minnesota. He said, you know what? He said, a lot of people, they come in here and they want to do the right thing. But when they get in here and see how it really operates, that's the challenge. His first term, his own vice president stabbed him in the back. Own vice president. And then he got a little experience under his belt, and he was wiser this second term. But I look at him talking all the time. I don't see where our president is evil or anything like that. You don't want these crazy people to get nuclear weapons. He understands the threat. Y'all don't know that there was actually a prophecy about that the Third World War is going to be between the Arabs and the Jews. That's where it was going to start. Let me say it's not going to be there, but that's where it's going to start. And I'm seeing it. I can show you books where we were talking about this in the 90s. I don't talk about a lot of things because I'm not really trying to change this into a political platform. You know, that's not really my thing. However, when we get in certain discussions, sometimes it's necessary because people, they don't like to discuss who the underlying power is. You like to talk about how the music is bad. Well, who's greenlighting the music? It's not the artist. It's not the artist. The artists put out what these people want them to put out. Who's greenlighting the movies? In every movie on Netflix and everything you see right now, men are made to look stupid. Women are more intelligent, more stronger. They getting that? And then they look at who are the professors in all your college universities indoctrinating all of your kids with this liberal ideology. Go look up their nationality. Why you can't see this? You're stupid. That's why. So yeah, they're supposed to take over. The dumb goyim, they say this, okay? Yes, they're going to take over. They should. I don't know what else to say. There was some sort of infiltration that happened in this country. It got infiltrated. And that's what I'm talking about with everybody. Like even in the solvent community, everybody got a welfare mindset now all of a sudden. They trying to, you know why they want you to have a welfare? Because as long as you have a welfare mindset, you're going to be dependent on the Federal Reserve because they got to keep going and borrowing money from them. So as long as you got a welfare mindset, you're going to keep us in a perpetual state of slavery. It's in the Bible. The debtor is enslaved to the creditor, the borrower. So I don't understand how you think we're going to rise up. This is why wealthy people don't want Federal Reserve notes. They want assets. That's what the number one thing you're supposed to do with Federal Reserve notes is get rid of them as quick as you can by getting assets. You don't say, oh, Federal Reserve notes are that script and everything. Look, we all know it's paper money, but it's the money that's being used to facilitate commerce that we're working with. You're not supposed to be holding on to Federal Reserve notes. You're supposed to be using it to get some sort of asset. Because when you have an asset, it can be liquidated into any form of money. You know, I respect your entire opinion about Trump, and even if I agree with it from the first term, but this ain't the same. Trump is the first term, and everyone is starting to come to light on that he's not in it for America anymore. That's bullshit. You don't know what's going on. What you mean is, why is he not in it for America anymore? Y'all just listening to the media. You probably listen to CNN. I mean, MSNBC. Y'all not even smart enough to understand propaganda. There's a reason he's doing everything that he's doing. And trust me on this, there's a lot of people in power working against him. And I'm trying to tell you who they are. I can't even believe y'all saying it. Y'all think Trump is that powerful? He's not as powerful as you think he is. Y'all crazy to think that. He's not the power on this planet. Hitler was the last person that bucked on these people. They bucked on the Jews, and they got every country on planet Earth to come against him. And they demonized him too. Then go back and look on the record, and you see whether Hitler was really. Did you go and watch Hitler, the greatest story never told? They demonized Hitler too. And to this day, they got him. They put Jewish people. There's a Jewish female president in Mexico. They put a Jewish female prime person over there in Germany. You go over to Germany right now, it's liberal as hell. All of Europe is liberal. All of it is liberal. The men are weak. And they're doing it to the United States too. He came in through the door. He took us out of the United Nations because they were the ones controlling us. Did any of you read William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse when he was telling you how the United Nations is implementing policy in the United States and how it's being done? He took us out. He took us out of the World Health Organization because he wasn't going to let that pandemic BS happen again. Now we're seeing that was a fraud. He said, do you want me to pull up the audio where he said it's a hoax, and all y'all went in on him? And y'all took it because y'all wanted to take that vaccine, that experimental vaccine. Hey, you have to give people what they want so they will want what you have to give. You have to give people what they want. So you can't force things on people that they don't want. Only a fool listens to the media and follows the mainstream media. You're a fool. You're a fool. You're a fool. I don't understand because there are powers that be there. Jeffrey Epstein was Jewish. Y'all don't talk about adrenochrome no more. You don't want to get into a reptilian conversation. Y'all don't want to talk about none of that. See that right there. Where you really want to go with this conversation is a place that you don't want to go. You don't want to go to that place because now we're going into who is really running the world and who's in control of the world. You don't want to get into discussions about that. Even though that was all the rage in 2020, and they silenced all. That's why they brought the pandemic, because everybody was talking about adrenochrome, the children, why they were getting the children. Everybody was talking about that. Now y'all done turned Trump into the person who's the pedophile. Trump's the pedophile. Do you know that is one of the hallmarks of Marxism? Accuse the person of doing what you're doing. The party that is all for transgenders, all this kind of stuff, cutting off little boys' penises, killing babies, all of that. But somehow, some way, ain't nothing wrong with them. I'm supposed to roll with them and go against Trump. This godless party that's satanic, but you ain't gonna say nothing about that. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay. Somebody says, Yusef, you're a reptilian. I have been sent here. I am a warring angel. That's why people say I have a bad attitude. It's because I didn't come to coddle you. I'm sitting here to give you the truth, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to that because you love the devil because he gives you nothing. You love the devil because he gives you nothing. Damn, I just said I absolutely agree with what you're saying. For the first time, I don't watch any news, but if you can't see that, I don't see what you're talking about. No, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. I see y'all falling in line, believing something, but no, I don't see that. I don't see that. You got to defend Israel. Israel isn't the most powerful. Israel is the smallest country on planet Earth, and it's the most powerful country on planet Earth. You don't seem to understand that. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand who Voltaire, he said it. He said, you know who your masters are by who you cannot criticize. You know who your masters are by who you cannot criticize. Y'all are afraid to criticize Jews because the first thing they're going to say is you anti-Semitic, or they're going to pull the plug on your social media site or something like that. You can't do that. What you talking about, man? What you don't understand. 75% of your businesses in your country, 75% of y'all billionaires are Jewish. I just don't understand what dots you not connecting. I connected the dots a long time ago. You're not going to go against Israel. Cynthia McKinney, she is a Democrat. She has videos on YouTube. You can go to it right now. She said, ain't nobody getting any money for anything if you don't sign a piece of paper saying you support Israel. The thing that was different about Trump, he didn't take any donations. As a matter of fact, he don't even take a salary. He donates his presidential salary to the veterans. He didn't take any money from them, so he couldn't control them. Every president that you've had has been an attorney, except Trump and Reagan. Every single one has been an attorney. Obama was an attorney. Michelle was an attorney. Clintons were attorneys. Bushes were attorneys. I don't understand what you don't see. What is it you don't see? That's why you're getting put in slavery, because you're easily manipulated and controlled. That's why you're being put in debt slavery. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that. I don't know what to tell you. The only people who they at war with is people who are not part of the World Bank. That's all the wars that's going on, and the Muslims are not. That's why they got a problem with them, because they're not falling in line with the new world order. And if you want to know what that is, all you got to do is go read the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. The FBI, let me show y'all what the FBI said to you. This is what the FBI said. Let me show you what the FBI. Put it on the screen for you. And put it on the screen for you. Y'all just like talking about this stuff. Oh, Trump done sold you out. Man, Trump doing what he got to do, man. He's doing what he have to do. Why the FBI tweeted out about the Elders of Zion? Okay, now they got it on their website. If you go to FBI website, Vault, they got it right here. The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. right here on the FBI website, and right here, they tweeted it out. In August 2020, the FBI Records Vault automated Twitter account posted an uncontextualized link to a declassified file containing the protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, leading to public backlash, an official agency apology, and clarification regarding federal archiving protocols. The August 2020 incident, the tweet, an automated feed shared a digitized PDF of International Bureau of Records regarding the anti-Semitic text without historical context or disclaimers. Okay, well, let's look at that real quick. Let's look at that. Learned Elders of Zion. Kind reader. The protocols consist of 24 documents first published in Russia in 1905 by Sergei Nilius. In 1906, copies were placed to the British Museum. Jewish authorities, naturally, denied the authenticity of these documents. In an interview on February 17, 1921, given publicity in the New York World, Mr. Henry Ford, expressing himself in regard to the protocol, said they fit in with what is going on. They have fitted the world situation up until this time. They fit it now, and they fit it today. So here's my question to you. This is Henry Ford, the richest man in the world at that time, who spent half of his fortune trying to warn you about something, and they did claiming that this document is not authentic. Have you read it? I've read it. This is why I got the opinion that I got, because I've read it. Have you read it? You want to talk about Trump? Have you read it? No, you haven't read it. You're listening to the news. They tweeted that out for a reason. Oh, we sorry we tweeted that out. But in fact, we need to warn the American people. What do you want me to do? I don't even talk about it anymore. I don't talk about it. I just let y'all go on hating on Trump, talking about he evil, he's becoming a dictator, all this whole ignorant ass shit that y'all talk about. I've been studying this ever since the 1990s, bro. 1991. Okay. I'm going to tell you, in the 90s, all this was conspiracy theory. We were told that there was a supercomputer in Belgium, okay, that there's a person connected to, and that all the information in the world is connected to it. And we were talking about there was going to be AI computers. We were also told that they had the technology, that we were told this in the 90s, that they could take a computer and make an exact digital image of you and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And they're doing it right now with AI. And you thinking that it's new technology, but it's been around since the 1990s. You think this AI technology just came out? We have a Roswell crash in 1947. Ever since that time, y'all technology has been doubling. Prior to that time, y'all were living in the Stone Age. After that Roswell crash, now y'all got computers. You got the internet. I mean, they're giving you cell phones, everything like that within a 50-year period. And 2,000 years before that, technology wasn't advancing like that. But, that crash, Grays, all that, that's that's crazy talk, Yusef. Aliens don't exist. We're the only human beings in the universe. That's what was said. And the reason that they have the Blue Book, because in 1940s, when H.G. Wells did that broadcast, when he was talking the War of the West, where the movie The War of the Worlds came from. He did that broadcast and everybody started jumping out of windows and killing themselves. So they decided to put it in a blue book, and they're going to keep it from the American public. That's why they give you movies trying to tell you, like X-Files and stuff. X-Files was real. Men in Black with Will Smith was real. He told you we get our info. You know them little magazines at the newsstand that look weird? U.S. Daily Report or whatever it is, Newsweek, all that, when it got a little funny stuff. He said that's how they share information. But you're going to look at it and think it's crazy. It's people on BitChute right now trying to explain to y'all what's happening with the children. You're not listening. You get an Amber Alert probably almost every day of a child getting snatched up. You don't pay it no attention. You just hit swipe right and keep it moving. 800,000 children a year come up missing in the United States. And now they won't open borders? Now you got undocumented children? What happened in Haiti? How many children came up missing in Haiti? Do anybody know? Clinton's got all that money. They built one house. One. One house. Talking about they were getting money for the disaster fund for Haiti. Didn't do nothing over there. And come on, man. Y'all need to miss me with the stuff y'all be talking about, man. Y'all on such a, you know. Yeah, the National Enquirer, you know, all these guys, they were telling all that information. There's a guy, his name is David. I'm going to give y'all somebody y'all can go listen to, but you probably ain't going to listen to him. But I'm going to give it to you so you can listen to him. I'm going to give it to you so you can listen to him. His name is, he came on Facebook and made an announcement. And he wrote a long letter telling what was going on. That he was talking about what they are into, you know, with the children. He said, but the real thing that they don't want y'all to find out about is that they got these beings, they reptilian, but there are different types of them. And one of them can go through your eye and attach to your brain and take over your body. And he was telling how they do that, they take over your body. This is where this body snatchers came from. All this stuff, he was explaining how they do it. And he was talking about it. And there have been other people, Tequila, whatever that female, it's been others, Brittany, whatever her name is, the white, that's why she went crazy. My girl, Lauryn Hill, it's a lot of these artists, what happened to Bernie Mac, all of these stars, he talk about what happened to them. Have you ever noticed that they died from an aneurysm or something like that, or some unexplained death? And he also said the biggest thing that they got going is cloning. There's a rapper, I forgot what his name, he got like 2 million views. He came on and show you, he talked about the cloning station and all that, but y'all ain't gonna listen to that. He sound crazy. But there's been a consistent stream of people coming, and the mainstream media don't talk about it. And the number one thing he said, the major people behind it, he said, are the Jewish people. Because of their bloodline. They got some sort of bloodline that they need, and they got an attachment to it. But that just gets into some crazy talk. That's all I'm going to say. That's crazy. It's conspiracy theory. I know. So you can go with your narratives that are going off of the news media and run with your narratives. All right, go ahead and run with them. You know, I get it. It's safer. It makes you feel more comfortable. It's more believable. You don't have to believe the propaganda, anything what's going on the planet. But hey, I'm just saying. All right, let me yeah, Kid Boo. Yeah, Kid Boo. That boy came and tried to, Britney Spears, she got a music video showing the destruction of the cloning station. Put in the Britney Spears cloning station video. She got a video. They've been trying, they can't tell you directly, but all of them have been consistent in their message. You just ain't been paying attention to the message. Because he said, what they do is, if you try to tell somebody or make it public, they got a way of he said they used to have to get you directly. He said they don't have to get you directly. He said they can move your body out of your body. There's a guy named Dravelo Melchizedek. When they cloned that sheep Dolly, that was the first time they cloned. Okay, and then the Bush, he passed a law making it against the law to clone under the public. They took it to the private and moved over into France. And their reason for doing it is because they said they know how to remove the energetic matrix out of the body and put it in a new body. And that's why they're cloning, because they're trying to reach immortality. And they said that the true state of technology, they said that that's what he's going to tell you. He said if they ever came and told people the true state of technology, they wouldn't believe it. And that's why they're not afraid of anything. And that's why they keep you 50 to probably 75 years behind on technology. There's a general, he came and said, the technology we got make anything on Star Trek look silly. It's on YouTube. You ain't gonna listen to him now. He said, we got technology that makes Star Trek look silly. I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy. We can all still learn from the children, but Yusef automatically thinks everybody here in the chat is ignorant unless he knows this from the class. No, I don't think everybody's ignorant. I know some people know about these things, but the overwhelming majority of people are ignorant. would you want? I didn't say everybody. I never say, I don't make sweeping generalizations. The majority of people are ignorant. I think that's a safe bet. 50% of the country reads on a 7th grade level. You see these videos? Look, man, I used to tutor English and compositional grammar. Majority of people coming out of high school can't even write a sentence coherently. I'm looking at how y'all talk about this law. If you really look and see the things that y'all talk about in law, y'all look ridiculous in some of the things that y'all say. Ridiculous in some of the things that y'all believe as it relates to law. It's ridiculous. But nobody can tell you anything. But you go ahead. You keep, yeah, you do know more than me. Everybody's not stupid. You the smartest guy in the room. You the smartest guy in the room. You don't even know, since you know so much, why in the echo chambers, if y'all know so much, why do y'all spend so much time talking negative? Okay, if you understood how the true nature of the universe operates, why do you spend time focusing on what you don't want? You know, there's a guy, he has a website, it's truefacts.org. He put out a book called The Matrix. His name is Val Valerian. You would do good to read his book, all right, because he talks about that, how we can all change the state of affairs in the world just simply by focusing on it. But that's what the news media is for. Have you ever noticed that the news media, the only thing they engage in is negative stuff? If it wasn't for the media, watching the news every day, you're going to think the world is coming to an end. And they keep you focused on that. You are creating all of this. They want you in that state of mind because they understand this is a holographic universe that reflects the predominant thoughts that you carry around. And if they can get everybody as a collective to think in a certain kind of way, yeah, that's what they're doing. He who controls the paradigm is God. But you'd have to understand natural law. That's why every single one of them is in the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, the Masons, Rosicrucian, Brother Light, every last one of them. And they are all taught what I'm talking about right now. You not. Yeah, you don't even own the land. How did that happen? Where you got to pay property taxes. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just the messenger. These people, they got videos right now over in Israel calling you stupid. You want me to show? Let me show it to you. I'll show it to you. Let me see if it's still on the internet. Let me see if it's still on the internet. There it is right here. It is right here. They put it on the screen for you. I'm gonna let them tell you. I don't want to be accused of anything. Oh, hold on. Let me show you what. I'm gonna put the link in there for you. Y'all go over there and watch it yourself. They put it on YouTube. They ain't took it down. They ain't took it down either. They haven't even took this down. They ain't took it down. They're still showing it to you. Here go the link right here. Here go the link right there. Y'all go over there and look at it. Look at these people. If you want, when they start calling you animal, you can go to the 20-minute mark. Okay, let me put it on the screen for you real quick.
למה הוא לא היה יהודי?
לא יודע, נו.
שיהודי לא יעשה את זה.
אוקיי, זה מה שכתבו לי. שנייה, זה כתוב.
עוד שאלה אחת.
אוקיי, בא במציאה.
אני רואה שזה שאלות.
זה מה שאני רוצה להבין. רגע, שקט. אז כן, מה כתוב? זה מה שאני לא מבין.
כתוב שאתם קרויים אדם, והגויים לא קרויים אדם, זה מה שכתוב.
לא קרויים?
לא קרויים אדם, לא קוראים להם אדם.
אוקיי, אז מה קוראים להם?
אדם זה אדם אל העליון.
אדם הוא בן אדם שהוא שונה מהבהמה. אם הבן אדם עושה את מעשה הבהמה, אז הוא כמו הבהמה, מה זה שווה? כל בן אדם צריך לשלוט על עצמו. זה היהודים שולטים על עצמם.
אוקיי.
אם היצר אומר להם לעשות דבר והם לא עושים, אז הוא בן אדם.
אוקיי, אבל יש מישהו שהוא לא יהודי שעושה מה שצריך, הוא בן אדם או לא בן אדם?
צריך לעשות דברים נורמליים, בדרך כלל הם עושים, הם יכולים להרוג אנשים כשלא רואים אותם. יהודי לא יהרוג יהודי אפילו שלא רואים אותם. אם אחד גוי, כן?
אבל יש יהודים שהורגים יהודים.
סליחה שיש כל יש.
יגאל עמיר, רבי פופר.
יהודי שמתנהג כמו יהודי, ודאי יש יהודים שלא מתנהגים.
אוקיי, אבל רגע, מה שאני לא מבין זה כל הגויים הם איך קוראים?
שנייה, אדוני.
בהמות?
לך משהו?
אם אין להם ציווי.
אדם זה על שם הדמה לעליון. אדם זה כי הוא יכול לדמה לאלוקים. אוקיי? זה פירוש אדם. אנחנו הפכנו את זה, זאת אומרת העם הפך את זה. האדם בן אדם, כמובן אתה בן אדם, אתה צריך להתנהג כמו בן אדם. אבל עיקרון זה על שם עליון. אדם זה הדמה לעליון, וכיוון שאנחנו בנים של אלוקים, אז הוא קרא לנו בני אדם. עכשיו, הגויים השם, כן? אלוקים עשה אותם בשביל שיעשו פה...
בשביל לשרת את היהודים. כל הגויים שאתה רואה שיש בעולם, המיליארדים האלה, הם הכל רק בשביל שהיהודים יהיה להם איזה תועלת.
עכשיו,
אנחנו לא רואים את זה, אנחנו לא יודעים בדיוק.
כן, היות ואנחנו בגלות, אז אוטומטי עדיין הם עוד לא משרתים אותנו לגמרי, רק חלקית.
כל אחד יבוא, אז כל אחד יהיה לו אלפים עבדים, 2,800 עבדים.
בינתיים המשיח לא כאן, אז איך הם...
Okay, so these people are saying, when the Messiah come back, because they don't believe the Christian Jesus is the Messiah, obviously. When the Messiah come back, they're going to have 2,800 slaves apiece, and all non-Jews are beasts, because you are a beast, because you can't control yourself. And that's what they demonstrate every day. They feed you the music. They control the music. You listen to beast-type music. You know, you kill each other. You have babies out of wedlock. You have sex with multiple people. 40% of the women don't know who the father of their children is. That's what the DNA test is saying in America. It's 60% in Jamaica. It's like I think 75% in Nigeria. I mean, the people are proving it right. Is my point. That's why I said earlier. I'm saying. I'm like they are saying all of this, and if you go even listen to Rabbi Finkelstein, he said, "Well, look," he said, "Well, we don't believe in your God and your Bible." He said, "Well, it looks like our Bible is pretty correct because we in control of everything. So it looks like the prophecies about us is true. No matter what you're saying, we're in control of everything." Nobody can argue about that. Nobody can argue about that. They are in control of everything, and they are not hiding it. They can even bring Trump to heel, is my point. He's finding that out. So I don't, you talking about these people, they tell you who they are, and they tell you what they think of you, and they put it on YouTube. You don't watch it, so what are they supposed to think about you? They tell you what they're going to do. Y'all going to be our slaves. Even if you go on and finish watching that, just watch all of it, you'll just get disgusted of how they think about people who go over there. They like trying to make these Christians go over there, try to visit and everything, and they selling them stuff. And these dumb Christians come over here. Let me sell you something. And they not hiding. I'm not saying anything. You can go, they will say this and put it on a video, and they put it on YouTube. And it doesn't get taken down. What does that tell you? Voltaire. You know who is your rulers by who you cannot criticize. You can go look that up right now. Voltaire said that. You know who your masters are, but who you cannot criticize. And there's only one people you cannot criticize on planet Earth right now. One group of people. I did an interview with Dr. Delbert Blair. I tried to put that interview up, and they gave me a strike. I got an interview with Dr. Delbert Blair. We talked for about 2 hours before he passed. Went through all of this on my blog talk when I had my blog talk channel. There is a difference. I'm not trying to say all Jews. Yes, Zionist Jews. However, they are Jews, is my point. I agree with that. There are Jews who are not in alignment with what they're doing. I'm not trying to make a sweeping generalization about all Jews. That is a very true statement. There are some very religious Jews who are faithful to their religion, and they don't want any part of what is going on. However, that doesn't change the fact that they are in control of everything. In control of everything, all right? I ain't said all Jews are the same. Listen, I'm just showing you, you can go do your own research. I'm just telling them, these people, they will tell you. I'm not going to explain anything. There are other videos. It's not one video. There's many videos on the YouTube over there in Israel. You can go and look. There's a whole cornucopia of them. You can go over there and look and see what these people say. They're not hiding what they're saying. They are very forthright in what they think of us. Okay, and I can't necessarily disagree, because you look at the state of your families. Okay, you're like animals now. Y'all run around having sex. You sniff it up behind women you want to screw somebody else's woman and everything. You don't even know if that man screwed that woman this morning. And you coming in and want to put your mouth on her or put your penis in her. You don't know where he's been. And you're just going to do this. And you think it's some sort of flex. Beast. That's beast. That's what dogs do. Want to stand in line and run trains? You do beast-type things. This guy's in prison right now. A female guard walked by. 5 of them will stand in line, whip out their penises and masturbate right in front of everybody. Don't care who look. Beast. I've seen how low we can get. I'm thankful that we have a prison system. Some dudes need to be locked up, because they are beast. Beast man. The beast of the field. Every president that has been in office has been beholden to Israel, fool. Not a single one hasn't. Y'all stupid, man. You say you're not stupid? What you think is just Trump? Every fucking president that's been in office has been under the thumb of Israel. Nixon tried to talk about it under his breath. Y'all stupid, man. Y'all stupid. Y'all try to isolate Trump as if he the only one. That's what I'm saying. He eventually had to fall in line as well. As long like he ain't his money ain't as powerful as you think it is. These people have been having control of our government for a long time. They've been having control of our monetary system for a long time. You can try to deny it all you want, but all you're going to look is just stupid. And that's why they're converting all of your men into girly boys, making all your women act like niggas. I don't like talking like this. I really don't. I ain't like doing shows like this, but somebody got to tell you the truth. Y'all, that little politics y'all engaged in, that's the most surface level stuff. You're not looking at what's really going on behind the scenes, the undercurrents of what is really happening. You're on the surface level of all of this and think you know what's going on. There's a man, he wrote a book. Dontel Jackson, shout out to Dontel Jackson. Any of y'all read this right here? Any of y'all read this? We thought they were white. Let me see if I can download it real quick. They trying to scrape this off the internet. We thought they were, I got it. I have it, but they trying to get this off the internet. Dontel Jackson. We thought they were white. Yeah, they didn't scrub. I got the PDF though. They just about scrubbed it off the internet. Did anybody see? They looking for it now. We thought they were white. We thought they were white. They didn't scrub it off the internet. We thought they were. Let me see if this is it right here. Okay, this might be it right here. Let me see if it's it. Yeah, this is it right here. Any of y'all read this article right here? How they got y'all fighting with each other and racism. They got y'all hating the white people. Got y'all hating the white people. Got y'all this racism. Everything is racism. Everything is racism. The white man is evil and all of that. Yeah, y'all getting played too. All that white supremacy stuff that you talking about, you getting clowned. You're getting clowned. You are being controlled if you are engaging in any of that talk about white supremacy. I'm just saying. I've been studying this for 30 years. I'll debate anybody on it and crush you. This is a field where I got a lot of damn knowledge and a lot of support, books and things that I have been reading for the last 30 years. And I can tell you definitively, these people are in control of the world, and they are the ones that are behind the New World Order. That's what it is. They got control of the money first. They got control of the manufacturing. They have control of the entertainment, and they have control of the media. Who is going to argue about that? It says, oh, so now I'm a racist? Okay, so am I a racist for telling the truth? Did you see that video that white guy, when he put on the last administration, how many people, you had a 4-star Jewish general who was a transgender in the last administration. Your Secretary of Treasury, almost every office, the head of the CDC, she was a Jewish woman. I mean, okay, you said, and that's what they do too. They call you racist for pointing it out. When you point it out, that's what they start doing. They start calling you, and that's why none of y'all know, because if you try to tell somebody, they start calling you racist. And it's racist for telling the truth. I didn't say they were evil. I just said they in control of it. They own most of the sports franchises. What's racist about saying the truth? That's one of Karl Marx, Jewish. Einstein, Jewish. Who's the man that told y'all were animals? Jewish. What's his man? He said, what's dude's name? The scientist said we came from monkeys. I don't know what else to tell you. Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein. I can keep going and going and going, but I'm racist. Got it. They put him out of Spain in 1492. They got put out of 1,100 countries. And that book, My Relative Defense, it talks about Jewish bloodletting. Am I wrong for talking about that? Because they got a woman that came on the Oprah Winfrey show. I got the video up from Oprah Winfrey right now. Y'all can go and look at it. She came on the show and talked about it. I only give you things that y'all said. Okay, I learned that to keep from you, like the speech that was given in the Willard Hotel by Benjamin Friedman in 1961. It's on the internet too. You can go listen to that. Go listen to that. He tell you what really happened with Hitler and what happened in World War I and World War II. That's a Jewish man. See, I only use Jewish sources because I want you to attack your own. Don't attack me. And I learned that over time because I found out that when you talk about something, immediately they're going to start calling you racist, anti-Semitic. I said, okay, well, I'll just use the stuff of the people that's coming from y'all. It's just your people. That's why I learned. I found My Relevant Defense by Rabbi Finkelstein. He didn't want to talk. He said, hey, they wrote a book about it in 1938. Y'all didn't read the book. I went hunted and found it. Arnold Lease, My Relevant Defense. And what was his relative defense? Telling the truth. He tried to tell the truth and they put him in jail. So I don't understand. I'm not racist. I'm just sitting here telling you what it is. Anybody who talks about it, they get attacked. And the attack always comes by saying you racist and you anti-Semitic. And just for pointing this out. But I'm not supposed to care about the welfare of my people, okay? Just like you care about your people, I care about my people. And if it's another group of people trying to put my people in slavery, you goddamn right. I'm going to warn them about your ass. And you can say whatever you want to say. So I don't understand where that's coming from. Let me let somebody else in. 470, let me get off of this. Or they take my channel down. 470-7937. You're on the line. 470-7937. Your mic is open. Go and listen to Benjamin Friedman, his speech in the Willard Hotel. Let me give y'all that one. And then go watch Hitler, the greatest story never told. But they don't want y'all to do it. Here it is right here. I'm gonna get
laid to throw the United.
I'm surprised they ain't took this down. They got one. They took down my channel behind one of these right here. But even though it was up on other channels, and they still up on them today, they took down my channel for having it up. That's why I would have over 200,000 followers if my last channel didn't get taken down. Go listen to that. See that right there? See, that's what y'all always say. We're not anti-Semitic. Yeah, okay, so you're the real Jew. So what? You're not in control of anything. That's not impressive. I could care less if you were the real Jews. You don't control shit. Yeah, see that y'all get into them label shit. This our land. They the occupiers and all. Man, that right there is like every time I hear y'all talk, I think about Friday with Debo and the taking of the bicycle. They came and took your bicycle and y'all just walking around the street talking about how that's your bike and somebody took it from you. You sound like punks. That's what you sound like to me. I don't want to hear that shit. Talking about we were the real Jews and they took our land and this real. I don't want to hear that shit. So what? You don't have it and you can't get it back. They took it from you. They didn't occupy it. They came and took it. They took it. Let's say what really happened. You don't want to talk about that though. You want to, you want to act like they finessed you out of it. They finessed you out the land. This is our land. They finessed you out of it. That's the narrative you want to roll with. See, you don't like me. The reason y'all don't like me is because I don't tolerate bullshit. I say what it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm a messenger. Okay, and I'm a no-nonsense messenger. I cut through all the bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm going to call it when it is. It's bullshit what you're saying. They took that shit from you. And the only way you're going to get it back is taking it, and you don't have the power to take it back. And may not have for another 500 years at the rate you're going. Oh, crazy. Let me get off this channel. I got to get off, y'all. I'm going to get off now. Before I go too long, I'm going to get off. All right. Before I say something to get my channel taken down, I'm going to get off. But right now, all the sources that I'm saying, go read it yourself. What are y'all talking about? The FBI tweeted out protocols of the learned elder design. My relevant defense by Arnold Lease. The International Jew by Henry Ford. The White Man's Bible by, what's my man's name? It's called by Ben Klassen. Oh, now if you want to see a real white supremacist, Ben Klassen is a real white supremacist. That's a real white. But you ought to read his book. Because in his book, he tell you who the enemy is. The enemy, he say, are the Jews. But the blacks, the only way that blacks are enemies because they're using us to mix with the white people and because they want to breed out the white people. And that's why y'all see on TV these interracial couples and things like that. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, I was fortunate enough to interview her on my blog talk before she died. And she intimated to my audience that the number one thing that white people were afraid of was genetic annihilation. Because the Jews, and this is what really should be an insult to black people, because they only look at black people as a threat. They don't look at us as a threat. They look at us as entertainment. And that's why they got us in entertainment. They said black people are entertainment. White people are the threat. You are not a threat, black man and black woman. You're not a threat. Go over there to Ghetto Gaggers and see what your black women are doing. What is the message that they send you? Who do you think owns that? Ghetto Gaggers. Go over there, black man, right now and look at what they're saying about you through your women. Go over there right now. Don't sit here and talk to me about what Trump is doing or anything like that. Look at what you not doing. Let's start there. First of all, you need to wake up. Ain't nobody, listen, nobody blaming the Jew. You can see, it's not blaming anyone. It's readily apparent who's in control. All right. Cynthia McKinney, and Gus Savage tried to tell you, the congressman, these Democrats, these are black Democratic leaders. Gus Savage put it on the congressional record what was going on. It's on the congressional record. He came to the floor and told you. You didn't pay attention. You didn't pay attention. You can go right now and listen to it right now on YouTube. You're not going to listen to that. You prefer to call me, oh, Trump is this, and Yusef is just stupid. He following Donald Trump. Man, I'm light years ahead. I've been following this for 30 years, man. Y'all on some 2-year-old information. You ain't ready to have no serious discussion about what's going on in the world. All y'all is just, all that stuff you seeing on YouTube, this just entertainment. It ain't informing nobody about nothing. YouTube is a platform to make money off of. They scrubbed it at the beginning of the pandemic. They scrubbed all the extraterrestrial stuff, all the footage they had of people shape-shifting and everything, took it all that used to be on YouTube. They scraped every last one of it off. Anyway. That's all I got to say. Peace to the gods. Wake up. Like, comment, and subscribe.